What is up, everybody? We're going to get going here in just a second. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. OG here, and I'm going to start doing something with these streams called The Scoop, and maybe this will be consistent. Maybe this will fizzle out once the full release of goals comes. We'll have to see, but essentially, the football gaming world is in such a weird spot, especially with the talks of 2K coming. And so I want to make sure I'm staying up to date with every game, right? So today we're going to be obviously going deep into goals. I want to talk about the gameplay, talk about Marceau in particular, who's been streaming, and what it means when you're watching him play. Like for those who did and don't know how good he is, for those who are looking to get a head start when the open beta comes, like what you can take from these streams. We're going to dig into that. I'm going to give you some examples. Then, of course, we have FC26, which many are saying this was it, right? After a botched FC25 and then coming out with saying they fixed everything, they're going to listen to the community, and then just botching FC26. What else could they possibly say to keep players around? I mean, that couldn't work better for goals. You know, if you can ask for a better situation if you want to take a ton of players, right, from the previous king of football gaming. You know, I'd say it's by default, but we'll get into all that. And then, of course, I want to go into something else as well. So obviously, there's the fact that when I started creating content, I told everyone, right, I want to help people. That's the bottom line. Is UFL came out. I felt that it had a ton of potential. We all know that didn't go good. But at first, there was a lot of hope. And I saw a lot of people that had tons of potential. And I wanted to try to help whoever I could. I literally thought maybe I'd play a few people that I saw, you know, I could help, let them know, hey, I have a YouTube channel. I have some videos posted there that I think could help you. Maybe I'd have 5, 10, 20 people. And that's why whenever I create videos to this day, I create so much content because it's not about views, right? I mean, you can go all the way back to my first videos and you'll hear me talk about this, and I've stayed true to that to this day. I either share stuff on tactics, on the direction the game's going, trying to help people, whether it's shooting, defense, learning games, whatever it is. Then, of course, my takes on games, what I see ruining games, including the rats, and then the con man artists. And I want to dig into that because my latest victim, if you will, was picked out because he's a piece of trash and he misled a whole bunch of UFL community members, whether all of them realize it or not. It's just the truth, and that's this Pantera guy. If you guys follow the channel, you know I've done the same with Dagger, with that boss man KD. I went at it with Nanik, although I wouldn't necessarily label him in the category that I'm talking about today. But the bottom line is, when I do this, it's because these people are the same ones that I used to despise when I started following content back when I started really competing in FIFA, which was in 2022. Now, following football content goes all for me all the way back to, like, let's call it the KSI era, when it was a lot of fun. Then, of course, I was a huge fan of Kurt 0411, still, in my opinion, neck and neck with Anders Vergang as the best two players to ever pick up the sticks and play a football game. And in eFootball, we're going to talk about that a little bit too. That's in its own world, but they're right up there. Like, you could put Jay Victor up there, who my boy Phil introduced me to, as well as Jinsu. And Dominator is very good. Maybe not on Jinsu and Jay Victor's level. But outside of those top players, you have some very good comedic, entertaining content creators. Then you have the skilled content creators, right? And then you have the informational ones like F and G here that we're going to watch some of this today, right? But then you have 3 different types of trash creators that you never want to follow. And I'll break them down for you. You have your clickbait football gaming content creators like this Sanders guy, right? He has tons of subs, but he doesn't really have any game that he follows. Anybody that's willing to pay him a bag because he has all these subs to promote their game, that's kind of what he covers. And then other than that, it's just a bunch of random videos. But he has huge amount of viewers, and everything he does, it's clickbait. Like he'll release a game. UFL is better than it's ever been. Amazing update is change UFL. Is this the FIFA killer? And then they'll see efootball, amazing update. This game's incredible. And it's always just one-off videos, right? So that's your clickbait comment. You never want to watch them because you can never trust what they're saying. It's just a bunch of nonsense, literally, right? Then you have your, how would I call them? Your rat content creators, right? And these are the ones that don't look at these football games like trying to enjoy football. You'll never see like manager modes or road to glories or anything like that from the rat content creators. You'll see them essentially looking at the game like, okay, all we're trying to do is win. So use this exploit, use this shortcut. Here's how you can, in eFootball, for instance, they had this. Here's the 5-back system you can use to crash your opponent out and get an automatic win. Like, it's stuff like that. All the nonsense that's destroying the game, the rat content creators will promote that stuff. A perfect example, if you've been part of this channel a long time, would be Dagger, who scurried away, but he's a former target of mine because he was absolutely ruining UFL at a vital time. So if you actually go into my content, I can show you where I was calling him out. So he had what a lot of people in the community would call a rat farm. You literally go to his channel if you wanted to find out the latest shortcuts to take, the latest exploits. All of his videos before he erased them all were things like, oh my god, a new broken mechanic. Learn how to be toxic in this game. Look at this toxic way to beat your opponents in this. And he created a channel off of this. Literally, he was shameless about it. Some are a little more reserved, right? But they know exactly what they're doing, right? So they're exploit creators or rat creators, if you want to call them. And I would show you examples, but Dagger's not here anymore. So let me see if I can find you within my channel videos. I have to go way back where I called out Dagger. And as I looked for this, the very last type of these trash creators that are no good for any games are the conman creators like this Pantera that I've called out recently. To the point where I laid out even more of the facts after he said, your timeline's messed up, you didn't show any proof, and I got a little more specific. And if he was willing to come on and talk to me face to face, I could shut this down in a heartbeat. But even without it, if anybody's willing to actually look, because you know some of these followers, they follow these creators and they won't really look at the facts. They just like the person so much that they let them go. It doesn't matter. I mean, you see it with musicians and athletes and stuff every day. They can do these horrendous things even, to talk about an extreme, and these blind idiot followers will just let them off the hook because they, in this case with Pantera, they like his streams. They think he sounds like a nice guy, and so they won't look at the facts. But anybody who looks what I've pointed out about Pantera can see exactly what I'm talking about. So what conman creators do is they see that they can make a few bucks, some more than others, by sharing content. It doesn't even just have to be football games. It could be anything at all. And so they create content misleading their community. They don't really know if people, anybody that really knows football games really listen. They can see that they're not speaking how they feel. They're not telling the truth. So for instance, when me and Pantera would create content on the exact same day, I'm trying to find these Dagger videos so I could show you an example of the rat farm that he created. But anyways, that's here nor there. That's fine. This dude right here, this Pantera, what he would do is, and we'll even go to his channel, is when some huge scam came out that Strikers just released, or some scam pack that people should not buy because the game was broken and because it was clear what Strikers was doing, or they said some update was going to be great and they lied because shit was still broken in the game, you would have this Pantera Too Cold, by the way, great band, since I didn't put in Too Cold. But this guy himself, piece of trash. So what he would do is, on these same days when all this stuff was broken, he'd come out and say, guys, I'm really loving the gameplay. I think they did a great job with these newest packs. Look at all these players I just bought. I mean, he has a team full of Supreme Team players. Supreme Team is Striker's version of Team of the Year, and that was well after UFL was in the trash can. So this guy was promoting, buying packs, doing all this shit well after he knew the game was going nowhere, well after he saw what Strikers was doing to the community. And so it's just recently that he would say stuff, and he would do it opportunistically, like when he was going to leave and go to FC, until he realized that he sucked at FC, no one would follow him there, right? And then all of a sudden, magically, without any changes, oh, UFL's not broken, guys, I'm sorry, it's actually great. Buy more players, spend more money, right? He opportunistically calls him out, but never truly trying to just give his community all of the info, and then they could be the deciders on whether they want to play the game. And he did clearly had everything worked around getting more subscribers and viewers. He never created these videos, right, for like helping his community. It was whatever would get the most views, which is why we go totally different paths. And that's okay, by the way. You don't have to create as much content. You can go for only the ones that are going to get a lot of views. I'm not saying there's any problem with that. Pantera went that route, that's fine. The route I went, even if a video is going to help 5 people, let's say someone wanted to know, for instance, about a change in passing that was occurring in a game, but it was like a niche amount of people that even cared about that. Even if it was 5, I'd create the video. Even if there were new kits in the game, I would make a video on the new kits because I'm a football gaming nerd, and I was fine following that. What the problem isn't that. The problem is all throughout the game, when broken stuff would come up, when stuff that the community surely would want to know, and I know this because I would want to know this. I used to go through this in FIFAs, right? But these conman creators, they purposely sugarcoat or they purposely skim over these issues because they don't want to get on the developer's bad side, or because they don't want to lose viewers or potential subscribers. So, hey, the game's great, keep playing, keep spending your money until a different opportunity comes, and then all of a sudden, all these things that have been wrong with the game forever, now all of a sudden, they're enough to call them out and really make a stand against the game. But when you needed all the views and subscribers, it was okay to promote all this spending of money, to not talk about the servers that were shut down all over, to not talk about these scams that Strikers would run in and hide behind community challenge, to not talk about all of the shit that remained broken for how long it did, to not talk about the fact that you used to abuse all of this stuff until you got called out for it, right? Everything was a scam. And why I call these type of people out is because let's use, for example, the difference in how Pantera approaches content. Let's say 8 months ago, he has people that didn't spend even $1 on packs. Didn't even spend $1. Let's say they just chose to play UFL from FC. Or they're in the middle. I don't know if I want to play UFL. A lot of people say it's bad. But let's see what Pantera says. It looks like he's got a decent following. Let's see. And he's over here breaking the bank, spending on all these new promos. Okay? Talking about how good the gameplay feels after an update that was clearly botched, that clearly didn't do anything for the game, but he wants the views. He wants the new subscribers. His channel he still wants to grow. So now when people like me are showing, look, this is still broken, they didn't fix this, look at this scam, they're charging this for a season pass, and this is all you really get, but yet they want this much money, and you still have to spend more to get, and breaking it down, right, to where players who read between the lines are going to see this is a waste of money. This game's still going in the wrong direction. Nope, see you later. Yeah, maybe I lost a viewer, but I helped a ton of people potentially save money, especially there's younger people out there too that are playing the game that maybe use their, I don't know, the little bit of money they make on their summer job. Like, you have to look at the responsibility you have when you get a following of people, whether it's 10 people, 1,000 people, 10,000. right? That was the whole point when I created this, is to try to help people. Even if you're not going to help them, though, like I said, with the example of the person walking off the bridge, you can at least let your community know all the information you know, right? There's no doubt Pantera could have explained more why the gameplay got so bad, because the fact that I knew it and could tell my community means that he for sure knew it and just decided not to, right? The fact that he didn't tell everyone about what was happening with the skin. I forgot the name of it. It was a skin system or whatever their official name was. You go look. Months before that skin system went under, I warned people, guys, this is going to dead end because your players are going to max out at 91. They can't just keep doing this. They're going to have to scrap this system and do something new. Because if everyone just has the top 91 rated players with these amazing skins, no one's going to buy any more players, and they need people to buy players. That's what they're driven off of for microtransactions. Pantera doesn't say a word about this, keeps buying skins, keeps acting like everything's just fine. So when UFL scrapped the skin system and the player upgrade system, my community and whoever watched my videos on it already had months in advance warning. Ask how many players save money from that. I mean, you guys can do the math if you just played the game. Tell me, yes or no, wouldn't you have liked Pantera to be honest with you guys and tell you the same thing if any of his community members or anybody watching? Wouldn't you want your content creators, if they knew, like a Nick Runs a Foot Market or Inception, if they knew something that could save you hundreds or even thousands in some instances of dollars, if you could have saved that, if these guys would have just shared everything with you, wouldn't you want them to share that info? Because when I'm thinking about what I share or don't share, I'm like, would I want to know this if I was on the other end? And of course, the answer is yes. So if he could have just broke down the information about the skin system, just like I did, letting everyone know the skin system would be scrapped, it has to because of X, Y, and Z. If he could have just let his community know this, he could have saved all of them hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And not to mention, it would have kept that money out of strikers' pocket, and maybe they would have paid attention more to the player base. But when you have shit content creators, conmen content creators like Pantera, strikers loves that because he just got them hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars more, along with guys like Richie and Bossman and all these guys. Got them hundreds and thousands of dollars more, all because they're too selfish to share the information they know, because they don't want to risk players going, that's bullshit. I spent so much money on skins, they're just getting rid of them. Yeah, see you later. Or, wow, this game's going nowhere. That's, what are they going to do now? Copy FC? I'm out of here. They didn't want to risk it. They don't share the info. Go back and look at anywhere where Pantera shared the information I did, warning the community. Even that was after I was already done with UFL, just basically helping my old community members. Go show where he gave that months in advance forewarning that if you spend money on skins, from now on you're wasting your money because it's going down. He never does it, guys. And you can go through and look at where I talked about the broken crosses being back and the reason why they weren't going to fix these glitches that have been in here. But what is he saying? Oh, guys, maybe next patch, maybe next patch, maybe next patch. Just enough to keep you guys playing the game, keep you guys listening. And of course, he's a real nice guy, but it's all a con. It's all a way to get anybody he can that will keep subscribing and keep watching his videos, because that's what makes us the money. Whatever makes a few bucks was fine with him, including lying to a community full of people, right? And you can never, ever give those guys respect or credit. And if me outing these type of content creators to like a smart enough person that understands that I'm just speaking facts, if that saves even one person from getting duped into following some moron in the future, then it was well worth it. Okay? But these are just small examples. You can go through, because every single time there was some type of BS that strikers did or some type of nonsense in UFL, I called it out, right? The fact that I called the skin system going under months in advance, right? It shows you, like, clearly I knew what was coming. But creators like Pantera that knew, they didn't say a word. You can go through that over and over and over again throughout from 10 months ago and on, and you'll see time and time again where on those same days, Pantera's going, guys, the game is great. Oh, yeah, buy these packs. Look at this, guys. I bought these players. Even just buying them himself like that. And then saying the gameplay is good when it's not is a lie enough, when there was clearly shit going on and stuff that was out there for these creators like Pantera and Richie and them to speak on, and they just, everything's great, everything's wonderful, keep playing. And the reason why it's hilarious now is because Pantera is doing the same process he did with FC, only when he did it with FC and said how broken UFL was and I'm done with it, I'm going to FC, he failed in FC. I mean, no one's gonna watch a Division 5, go look at the highest the guy's ever been. No one's gonna watch somebody that doesn't know the game, that can't play the game at even a mediocre level. So magically, a few days after saying UFL's trash, we're going to FC, he's back on UFL. It's the best, guys. It's amazing. I would never leave you guys. Here I am, guys. He's a fair weather player, and he's a liar and con man. So, moving on. The whole reason, in summary, I'll end this all here. The whole reason why you call these guys out is because there's tons of people around the world that can get duped by these con men. You see it all the time, not just in football games. And again, if I can see the truth and let people know, I'd want others to do that for me if I was following some idiot and taking information that, is shit information, and listening to someone that isn't going to help me out, isn't going to save me money when I could save money, isn't going to tell me the truth about whatever the topic is, in this case, football games, in particular UFL, right? And so that's just my forewarning to anybody. Watch who you follow, and watch out for these con men like Pantera. So let's move on from that topic. That's officially the end. I've said enough. I've laid out the facts. Anybody who has a brain can see for themselves, and hopefully I helped you out. If you were following this nonsense, hopefully I will open your eyes to it. And if you're some weirdo follower that's just like, oh, well, he's a nice guy, so I, just like these people that do for all these musicians and athletes and stuff, and let them off for murder, if that's what it was. I mean, get your life together, bro. It's a football game content creator, for goodness sake. You're going all crazy for these people, defending an absolute scam artist liar. It's like, dude, figure your life out. That's all I have to say to you. All right, into FC. Now, the reason why this is so, it's almost heartbreaking, but predicted, right? We all knew that if EA Sports failed with FC 26, they were going to have an extremely hard time selling any more of their games in the future. That's the bottom line. Because FC 25 was absolutely horrible, but next thing you know, EA Sports, they do have a lot of money and power. They put a huge PR team behind, like, this is all about the community first. And what do you know? They got many people, including myself, on board, right? They manipulated us. They said they fixed their server issues, had us playing the closed beta with very minimal players. Game was feeling great, so we tell everyone, guys, the game feels amazing, right? The beta, in all the way, even the early release felt pretty good. The minute full release comes, the servers get flooded, and it's terrible gameplay. Now we know, thanks to people like, the CEO of Goals, Andreas Thorstensen, telling us, with the FC netcode, EA Sports' netcode for the game, they're never, ever going to have consistent or good gameplay. So just that there, as well as their outdated game engine, there is absolutely 0 point in playing these FCs ever again. We will hear what FNG has to say, and by the way, make sure you like and subscribe. He's a great content creator. And then we will talk about what's left, which is the battle between Goals, a game where the developers are doing something totally different. I already told you we're going to dive deep into Marceau's gameplay, because he's one of the best in the world, and it can help us prepare for Goals closed beta, but will also help us understand why it's going to come down to this game right here, as well as potentially, if the rumors are correct, FIFA 2K, guys. Apparently, it's already been in development for a few years. They're trying to keep it hush, which I like, man, because if it's true, that's going to be crazy. And so we will see what comes of it, right? Until we know for sure, we get a name, we get any details, more particular details, we have to say it's just a rumor. But I want to talk about why, after we watch that FC video from F&G, why it's going to come down to Goals versus eFootball versus FIFA 2K, and why FC and UFL are just going to be in the dust, and why eFootball gets to stick around despite that outrageous nonsense such as smart assist. So that's what we are going to go over. But first, let's look into this video and get some of these details and hear what F&G has to say about the end of a 30-plus year run as the king of football games, or what's surely to be the end. Because remember, as of the sales from these latest, 26, right? From 2026 with eFootball 26 and FC 26 as well as UFL, you look at all the numbers, the active players, the even streaming, everything. FC is still the king. EA Sports is still on top. But, and I believe that's what this is going to do, that all is going to end swiftly. By 2027, this next round of games that's released, which earlier than that, right? Because the new goals will come out with the start of the World Cup. FC already right then and there is going to start walking slowly off, right, the throne. But I say slowly because the release of these games aren't all exactly the same. But you'll see exactly what I mean. Let's go ahead and get into this video here.
FIFA. We've all played it, unfortunately. The footballing simulator that most of us grew up playing. It's a staple of most of our childhoods. An iconic game franchise. You most likely went from being quick-scoped by Jeffrey's burner account.
All right, so I got some information for you guys. So I'm going to go in. I'm going out of order. What's up, Paul? What's up, Jerk? So, Jerk, the game you're talking about on Netflix, that is not, I repeat, that is not 2K's game. That is something separate. 2K has a project going on behind the scenes, and people have been looking at the openings and job positions and stuff, and it's clear that it's a football game. But they're keeping it hush-hush. That Netflix thing is more just a quick way to get a buck off the World Cup. It's supposed to be a game that's easy to play for everyone. You can play it on your phone through Netflix. That is not related to what I'm talking about with the FIFA 2K. If you go and look up a lot of the job postings, they have something going on behind the scenes in their sports lab, hiring for new positions, the way they're bringing people in, clearly signing NDAs, which I love, right? If the game's in early development, the last thing they want is leakers being figured out, paid off to give examples, and so it's maybe either well off and we got years away, or they're seeing games like goals that are going to come out and they feel like they got to hurry up, put their foot on the gas. But that's something separate. Oh, no, you're good, Jerk. I thought the same thing as you, bro, because Nick, he didn't mean to, but Nick Runs the Full Market actually initially kind of, either he clickbaited us, which, go figure, I was talking about earlier, the content creators that are either comment clickbaiters or rat content creators. And Nick's not a clickbait creator, but you'll see a lot of that clickbait creator stuff over this FIFA 2K being released on Netflix. Just remember, that's something totally different. Don't listen to them. That Netflix thing is just a phone game, not related. Let's read what Big Paul has to say. Hey, bud, hope you're well. We need to set up a community that plays pure football, no bowl, just football, whatever. Yeah, so Paul, if you want to check out my video, I did a video talking a little bit about the details. If you go in my Discord under the goals tab under OG Leagues, I'm going to have my own leagues and tournaments. They're going to be very easy to participate in, not a lot of time, and that's going to be along the lines of what you're talking about. So I'll let you watch the video and get the details yourself. We will have like real life prizes, potentially in-game rewards, because I've been talking to a lot of the devs, including Andreas, who's an awesome dude, like the CEO of Goals. Super approachable, super great guy, and like they provided in-game rewards for player-hosted tournaments during the alpha, and I have no doubt that if we get this league popping, they'll provide us with some cool stuff too. So you're exactly right. We need to have a community full of pure football, and that's what we're headed towards. But go ahead and check out that info that I've released so far on my leagues and tournaments and see if that's kind of up, in the lane of what you're talking about. But before I get back into this, so why this is so interesting and important to understand what's going on with FC is, dude, if you think about the craziness, right? We all see the downfall of FC coming. We all talk about it with how bad the game is, but it's still almost surreal to see it happening in real time, because every year, no matter how bad they make mistakes, all the way back to like around 15, 16, 17, those eras where they started having bigger and bigger mistakes, it's hard to think of these guys just totally falling off. But when you watch this, think about all the mistakes they've made, and remember, everybody has a line that once you cross, there's no coming back from. And you have to wonder, like, EA Sports, after that terrible showing with FC25 and with botching what was a great start to FC26, that was a widely liked game. And especially knowing that they don't have a fix to their servers, they'd have to literally strip their game down to the core and restart it. And they have an outdated game engine that they'd have to, again, strip the game down and restart. They're clearly not willing to do that. So it's like, eventually, if not now, people are going to realize that it's pointless to play this.
Out here, just slapping in a finesse shot from 25 yards during a golden age of football gaming between the likes of FIFA 11 all the way up to maybe something like FIFA 18. But once again, the magic is gone. No one cares about any of the promos. The gameplay is horror, and overall things feel stale. I don't believe it! I don't believe it! Is this genuinely the end for EAFC? I know, we've asked this question like 74 times before. At the end of the day, EA Sports will still get more of a bag than Jack Grealish on a Saturday night. But there is genuinely some science behind this, and it's really starting to reflect in the numbers as well. For me, hype around this game is at an all-time low. Now, you're gonna have to forgive me, I'm kind of old school. I grew up with this game being called FIFA. The majority of the time during this game, I'm going to be referring to...
Talk about the nostalgia, guys. I mean, when I see that cover, it reminds me of playing playing FIFA with all my buddies and having a rule where you could not use Wayne Rooney because he was so broken. You also couldn't use the Pep, Messi, Barca era teams because they were so broken. I mean, yes, FIFA was so arcade, and yes, if you wanted to play true football, you'd have to play like PES 6 and 7 and 8. And unfortunately, PES started trying to go too arcade as well. But the football then, even in those games that got too arcade, were just so much more simple but so much more fun, which is what Goals is going back to. But it's just crazy to think how much greed can just ruin things, dude. I mean, you see it in all these movies and TV shows, and greed's at the center of a lot, right? It's not surprising, but it is still like, it is wild to see that all these guys had to do is just make not even a ton less money. They still could have killed it and made hand over fist worth of money, but they literally let the money take over everything. And you can see where the gameplay started deteriorating, and it was literally like salt on a truck just eating away at metal. Like literally just rusting away the game is what it seems like, because the gameplay is now just literally broken. Forget about the outdated game engine, forget about like the terrible connection and all that stuff. You have a gameplay that's just rotted out from deep down. They'd have to make so many changes that there is no going back now, it feels like.
To it as FIFA. This FC baloney is utter woke nonsense. And you know what it is though? My question really for today isn't even necessarily going to be whether I think the game is terrible. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't even play this game that much anymore. My olden days on YouTube were sat playing career mode, signing a 73 overall Ecuadorian from the French second division in a Leicester career mode save to try and win them the league. Hello there guys and welcome. I loved this game. I breathed this game. I grew up on it. Me and my friends would be sat in year 10 or year 11 waiting, counting down the days for FIFA to come out so we could play pro clubs together. We'd go to game, we'd queue outside, be called a virgin by a 65-year-old man, and we'd...
Sorry, I don't want to pause a ton, but I love those days. I still remember, I forgot which FIFA it was, but me and my buddies went for the midnight release, right? We all skipped. I was in college at the time. We all skipped, and we played the game from midnight on. We got there at like 11:30ish, and we were way in the back of the line. We couldn't believe how many people went it for the midnight release. Got the metal case, right? We ended up hanging up the metal case. It was so badass, and we literally didn't stop playing from like Friday into like Tuesday. I think we skipped another day of classes, I swear. it was the most fun. All we did was go to training, come back home, play FIFA. And like those were the days. The game is so bad now. It doesn't you don't even want to do that. Not to mention, let's be honest, now everything's online, but even if we got online and gathered in the same way, the game just isn't good enough. You just don't feel like playing it over and over. Again, I'm not trying to turn this into like a goals love fest, but that's the only game in the past literal since 22 I could sort of do this, but that's the one of the only games, right, that I could goals that I can play over and over and over. Not even really going to the menus, just requeue after every game and still have a blast because it's so pure. It's just football.
Go home and we would game for hours. Now, of course, that was a different time in my life, respectively, and I'm sure for some of you guys as well, who are also feeling disenfranchised by the franchise. At the end of the day, a lot of us are adults now. I know I am. I don't have the time to play video games. I have to pay water bills. Don't get it twisted, I still play a decent amount. I play Football Manager a lot. I actually stream that. You can check it out down on Twitch. We can't say Holy and Willy at the same time. That is... Well, I mean,
make sure you follow this dude and support him.
But it's always going to feel like that
FNG.
magic is gone because we don't simply sit down and play the game enough. But when we do, we notice something different. We notice that we kind of don't care anymore. And I know a lot of people are thinking that, and it's reflecting on social media. Think about the absolute pinnacle of FIFA gaming, right, on YouTube. You had YouTubers, iconic YouTubers in the scene. You had the likes of KSI. You had the likes of Chris MD. You had streamers like Castro. You had the real nitty-gritty.
Remember what I said? I called it the KSI era because he was like the biggest, like almost, I would call it entertainment creator for football games. And that was the era when I started following content. It was incredible, right? All this tactics and this and that, the scam artists, the rap farmers, the con men like that Pantera, all those guys didn't come in till later. And it's just like, you know, that I'd say with like the market and people seeing that they could take advantage and really mess up the market. I still remember the big scams with that. That's when it really started. And then the shit creators and rats started coming in, and it's like the cancer spread. But for a while it was pretty pure, honestly. Even if the football was getting more arcade like, and that was around the time EA Sports started putting gameplay secondary. Because remember, back in the day, guys, to sell these games to get the most money, all of these development companies, they focused on creating the best gameplay. That's how they got you to buy their game. Oh man, this gameplay is awesome. I'm going to buy it, right? In their trial periods and all that. But then it transferred to, oh, they have icons now and they have legends. Because remember, it just started in Xbox and then eventually switched to everything. But they have icons, and then they also have all these promo packs, and they also have all these playstyles, and they also have all these things, these different player builds, these different accelerate types, like all these little individual things that added to trash gameplay, like the restrictive nature on the pitch, a player with 99 pace that can't run without quick step or rapid, and like all that came later. And it was a way to keep re-releasing players with these little differences so you would keep spending money. But that became the focus, right? And gameplay went on the back burner. But early on, when the focus was gameplay at the top, that's when it was the best. That's when we got fun football, when we got excellent football that you could just play all day. You didn't even need to go into the menus.
Guys, that's still about even today. The likes of Nepenthes and Bateson.
Messi on the cover. We get...
My heart's fine.
I'm only 40. Ignoring your heart health risk is no way.
Diabetes.
You had exciting wages and pink slips.
Oh,
You had
yeah, those were
controversial
fun to
coin
watch.
sponsors. You had people doing animations for the coin sponsors.
Some FIFA coin.
And views were up. This was a point, really, in the world of football where
seen
FIFA
that?
YouTube views were at their...
FIFA 16, what do I always say? The last decade. Some would argue more, but the last decade. So you see, it's spot on. Like, I remember this. I lived this. It was in real time. Like, when this deterioration started, I saw it. Earlier, if you guys don't know about how chemicals work, what I was talking about when I said salt rotting out the metal on a vehicle, right? That's literally what happened. It was like pouring salt in a wound. You hear that saying? And over time, it just rotted and spread, starting a decade ago, and we're at what I believe is the end.
their absolute peak. I'm talking through FIFA 13 towards FIFA 16, the absolute golden age. And that was never going to be sustainable. But if you compare that to YouTube views for right now, it is an absolute catastrophe. And that is not me getting at FIFA YouTubers, by the way. I respect the hell out of them for still wanting to play that game. And there are some that still do well. There are still the guys out there and girls that are doing well when it comes to, you know, playing FIFA. They're still getting some decent views, whether it be content that maybe appeals to a much younger audience. I'm thinking about maybe like a S2G, for example, on career mode. But there are people that do decent numbers anyway. But you think about the old school guys, if you think about the general series that would have done back in the day, or done well, sorry, back in the day, and you just look at the overall wider spectrum of FIFA on Twitch and on YouTube, the views are not there. It's truly time to investigate why this game is so bad. But during my investigations into this matter, I realized I wasn't qualified. I was sound. I was completely knackered, but all I needed was a few slurps of holy to get me through.
Oh, tying in
DCI Asufu was officially
sponsorships.
back on the case. And in fact, energy drinks, they got a hot
Slick,
trim.
very
Holy
slick.
Not only is it class and it allows me to continue investigating football's biggest wrong-uns, but I got here when it comes to FIFA. People sit in their basement and open packs for days just to get a Team of the Year card, and that's understandable.
Ding, ding,
We've all
ding,
been
ding.
there. But this year, the promo itself, pathetic. And that really lost a lot of people's interest. And that reflected in the views. That reflected in the interest when it comes to people actually streaming. When it came to people actually uploading videos or content based around Team of the Year. Now this is again just Ultimate Team. We'll talk about other game modes through this video. But I really feel like Ultimate Team has seriously lost its edge. It just seems like promos all round don't have that level of hype anymore. No one's massively excited to go and sit down and grind an SBC or something to try and get the next massive card like Team of the Season. Will people be really that interested at all? I'm not even gonna lie to you, I don't even know who was in Team of the Year for FIFA this year. Like, I'm locked in. I make football videos all the time. I make FIFA videos still sometimes. I play FIFA for the background footage on FTW. I didn't even notice who was in Team of the Year this year. They could have put Alejandro Garnacho in that thing and I wouldn't have battered an eyelid. Imagine grinding and putting all the money that's in your life savings bank account into FC26 packs and you get Team of the Year Garnacho, man. I do think there's an element of back in my day to this argument, but for me, it definitely rings true, because back in my day, I just do feel like promos like Team of the Year were a little bit more special. There is just undoubtedly going to be a little bit less gloss on something like that. There was once such a special occasion when there are so many different types of special cards in FIFA Ultimate Team these days.
Ding, ding, ding. That became the priority, like I said, right? How do we make the most money? Microtransactions on what? Kits, stadiums? No. On new players. Yeah, but everybody wants the same top players because you have broken players. Like this year, everyone has who? Claudio Pena up top. Why do they want her? Because her low driven and how good she is with the fidget spinner dribbling, and she's broken. Every year there's those broken cards. Well, if we only release one per year, we're not going to make a ton of money. How can we release 10 Claudio Penas and 10 Mbappes and 10 Hullets and 10... every week, 2 weeks, whatever, we release a new promo and we keep putting these players in over and over. Well, why would people want to keep getting the players? What can we do to make the players different? Oh, how about playstyles? How about player roles in if I'm talking about eFootball? How about ability perks if I'm talking about UFL, which are just a different name for playstyles? Like all this restrictive shit, which when you translate it onto the pitch, ruin the game. That became the priority. I mean, you can literally see. Like, when I talk about these facts, this is all stuff that you can research or see yourself. And if you play these games along the way, you recognize this. Because some people go, what ruined the game? Why is it so bad now? Why does it feel like Nick runs a footmark? He's like, why does it feel empty, I wonder? He released a video just like that. Huge content creator, very knowledgeable, but even he didn't even really recognize it. But it's right there in front of your eyes. If you really peel back the layers, it's very easy to see when these games started going downhill.
Like a Team of the Year doesn't really hold the same weight because you can get a 95 rated card from just a Don that might be good in the future.
Right.
You can get an insane flipping 97 rated card just from a guy getting 6 Jaeger bombs at Prison Watford. If he did a good enough job, he'll get like a green and red card next weekend. Combining with that, I think content prices on Ultimate Team just aren't worth it for a lot of people. A lot of people cannot be bothered to do what is required to get certain rewards on Ultimate Team. It was the case with Team of the Year, and it's why the content for Team of the Year was so bad, and ultimately why the hype was so bad for it as well. You know, a contributing factor alongside all the other stuff that I've talked about before. Getting the fodder together is jarring, long, and a lot of the time pretty expensive coins-wise as well. It's too much of a grind.
So we know about this part. Obviously, if you play FC or anything else, trying to take over with the menus, because obviously that's what pushed you to go buy more coins and go do everything else, because you either needed fodder or you needed to open 10 packs to get one whatever special player you wanted. All this is related, so we can skip to the future here of the video.
Successful on this game anymore, which ultimately does take the fun out of it. Look, when I was young, yeah, I loved playing guitar and I loved playing bass, right? And that was at GCSE. And I got to A level, and in order to get good grades, you have to obviously do some practical stuff, right? So you got to sit and play an exam, basically. You got to play a song for your exam, and you get judged on how well you play it. My school had terrible equipment and like 4 people in my music lessons, all right? They were not equipped for these sorts of shenanigans. But on the exam board, there was only 4 songs, I reckon, that were from anywhere after 1975. They were all old songs that I didn't know and didn't give a fuck about. And ultimately, I had to play Stairway to Heaven, which is actually an amazing song, but it was like the one song I recognized. And I had to play that, in essence, consistently for about 7 months straight, just to ensure that I could flawlessly play it for an exam, rather than for my own entertainment and enjoyment. And I almost quit anything music related. I almost quit playing guitar and bass and being interested in music generally, because it felt like a chore. It felt like a job. Every night I had to go home and play the same song to get examinated on it, like every 3 weeks. That's kind of what it feels like sometimes when you're grinding FIFA now. At the end of the day, yes, cool, people want to grind towards something and feel like they've achieved and worked towards a thing, you know, an objective, but at base value, FIFA is a game, and games should be fun. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the time you're not gonna get fun gameplay out of this thing as well. Because let's not beat around the bush, gameplay's horror these days. It's so easily exploitable. FC 26, their tagline was that they'd finally listened to us. We were promised amazing gameplay. Everyone had complained over recent years because FC 25 was horrible. One of the worst FIFAs that's ever been released in history. It was bland, it was boring, it was dull, and the gameplay was horror. So this year, they flipped the script, and EA Sports promised us that we would get a game that would be fun to play. We even lost out on a lot of features. I'm not gonna lie to you, there really wasn't that much interesting going into the game, and I made a video earlier on, just before it came out, being like, this is make or break. Because if we don't get any cool features, and the gameplay's now dead, and that's all you focused on, that is it now. We've reached that point. The game is horrible to play. Defending requires no skill whatsoever. It's all just down to, like, mechanics. You just hold R1s, the AI does it for you. You can drag a few players around here and there, but generally speaking...
It's even worse than he's saying. You don't touch your defenders now. I just broke down the AA9 skills when I was showing why goals is the future, because eFootball's defense is terrible and AI controlled, UFL's defense terrible, AI controlled, and FC is the king of it. The back four sit, controlled by AI. You control your defensive mids, which is what the player on the screen is doing actually. You can see they're controlling their defensive mid, and you just run around with the defensive mid, hold R1, and eventually your AI will get the ball. You park the bus and then win the ball that way. No football whatsoever. It's also because of the terrible spacing when you do this is why opponents only score goals with back to defense, right? You don't see give and goes, up, back, and throughs. You don't see open play type of goals. It's always the defense is sitting all the way back. You sit up against them, maybe dribble in circles 3 or 4 times and wait for an open shot. It's an absolute joke. And there's no way to go back and fix this because EA Sports has layered trash on top of trash on top of trash in their gameplay. They literally are past the point of no return. They're so far up the creek uphill and shit that there's no way they can get rid of it, right? As they say, they're way up shit creek with no way of coming back down.
It's a piece of piss as long as you can exploit the game a lot. Only about 2 formations work. Only a certain amount of players work. And I honestly think playstyles have maybe killed the game, like all round entirely. Because now stuff doesn't even make sense. I'm bringing my players off the pitch in protest when Erling Haaland gets bodied by Tariq Lamptey because he has Bruiser Plus on. I feel like
Ding,
the game
ding,
has
ding.
to work out so much more stuff, you know, now. It actually, like, there's so many more mechanics in the game that it has to work out, and you end up seeing things that don't make sense. I'm getting my players fouled all over the place. The referee's warming up to allow my opponent to commit actual bodily harm in the area just because he's got a cool play style on. And then scoring headers. Brother, like, when was the last time any of us scored from a corner? My strikers don't know what to do when the ball's actually in the air.
Oh, you fucking...
I saw about, you know, free roam. You know, the annual rumours every year that free roam is going to come to FIFA, right, for FC 27. I don't need the
It 1000% is coming because I'm part of the EA Sports Insiders program, so I was able to test it. If you go to my Discord, I shared the screenshots from it. Biggest joke I've ever seen. And then when you're looking through, you're like, why would they add this? Like running around, like to go into small-sided games, it's just terrible connection, the whole nine. And then you see the stores on every corner in their open world, and you realize what's going on. They want to make extra money. They're going to charge you for haircuts, for outfits, for special fucking skills that you can use in your little mini games, soccer tennis or football tennis match. 5v5, like basically Rush, but in this open world. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And think about the time and investment that they put into that, of resources and stuff, when their gameplay is literally dog shit. Not to mention their servers, not to mention their game engine, and they're focusing on just adding more layers of crap on top of it.
Possibility of doing a line of ketamine off my girlfriend's left chesticle in a nightclub.
What's
in
up,
free
boys?
roam. I just
Let me
want to
stop
be
this
able to
real quick
score
and
from a
say what's
corner.
up.
Mikel Tetenya.
So I'm on OBS, so I'm not watching the live chat the whole time, so I'm never ignoring you. But what up, Big Phil? Big shout out to my boy Phil. I want to say one thing real quick, Phil. If you don't mind answering this, if you're still on, give me a rundown of what you know about the certainty that Smart Assist is going away in, what, about a month now, in April? And what the gameplay is like. Like, if I was to turn it on and play right now, is Smart Assist being removed? Is that creating more players trying to play without it? Or is it as bad as ever? Give me your rundown, because I want to tell you why eFootball is going to outlast FC and why it's going to come down to goals versus eFootball, and if and when 2K comes that. But I'd love to get Phil's breakdown, because he's a hell of a eFootball player. He's stuck to the game. He's got insane players to utilize. So that'd be cool to hear from an actual player that's playing the game more regularly than a lot of us. And we'll get to that after this video.
Yahoo's corner tactics have revolutionized attacking play and the general European football, right? And revolutionized level of assault in a penalty area. So why can that not be reflected in the world's leading football simulator? And it's kind of frustrating, because there are good elements to FIFA. I actually think Rush is really fun. Anytime I play it, and maybe that's because the novelty hasn't worn off in the sense that
Now, Rush, how they did it is terrible, but he's right. Look at the 5v5 game mode, which I'll show you a little bit with Marceau's when we break down goals. 5v5 is brilliant, but with the server issues EA Sports have, they'll never be able to do it right, because the delay is so freaking bad in most matches. Not to mention the way they did Rush, where it's just this joke mode to complete certain objectives. You always get the rats and the trolls and the players going AFK, and the way they did it was a joke. If they went the route that Goals went with 5v5, they could have something special. I mean, in the alpha, you already had 5v5 money tournaments and Goals that were so fun to watch. Marceau's hosting a Nations Cup where it's USA versus Brazil versus Italy versus Germany, and it's 5v5. I mean, that is freaking awesome, dude. That is freaking awesome.
about 6 years.
It just dropped, you know, EA Sports just dropped the ball because, oh, Rush, there's no way to make money on that, so let's just bullshit around, add it. And that's all they did. They didn't push it.
Recreate the World Cup on FIFA, you can't do it. Brazil aren't even in the fucking game, for fuck's sake. You've got about 16 nations, I think it's like 18 actually, but that's still nothing. All the footballing nations in the world that perform on a regular basis, there's barely any African representation. There's barely any South American representation. There's barely any Asian representation. It is pathetic. Now I put a tweet out asking you guys for what you think was the worst, you know, the reason why you'd maybe stop playing FIFA. Says Laparodi here said stop playing because life got serious. Facts. I do firmly of year, Dan. Roles and playstyles have killed the creativity, says Matthew Horsley. Last champs weekend I faced at least 10 4-4-1-1s. It's so stale now. This always happens and the community is kind of to blame.
I want to say something about that life got serious part. So for a lot of us, including myself, these football games or whatever games you play are your release, are your lifetime sport. Like back in the day, and even still, you have people that after work they go play golf. After work they go play racquetball or they have a bowling league, right? On the weekends they compete. I mean, there's literally U.S. men's over 70 team. Like sports make the world go round. Like it's hard to just go train when you're not an athlete and playing, training for something anymore. Some people do have like weightlifting though as a hobby, and like whatever hobby yours is, say it's painting even, it could be anything. You need that to kind of reset. If you ever seen House of Cards, the president in there, ran by Kevin Spacey, obviously he's a chomo, so we don't support him, but during the series before we knew that, it was a sick show. And what did he do to kind of let loose? He played video games. The president of the United States, when he was in his free time, he'd play. When that's the case, when you're playing these games to literally unwind, to literally reset, and especially when you're putting a ton of time and effort because you're still competing, you still have a purpose behind playing. Otherwise, why would you waste so much time? You obviously want to enjoy the game. You don't want it, like F&G said earlier, to be a chore. You don't want to pull your hair out of your head because of some rat losers. If you're trying to get better at the game, you don't want to follow some con man like Pantera that's going to mislead you. If you're down to spend money, you want to make sure you do it wisely. And so you learn from these other creators that you can hopefully trust. Like, it's a big deal even if you're just playing for fun. So that life got serious part, when people say to me like, "Oh, who cares? It's just a football game, bro. How old are you? What is it's just a video game." That's the same idiots that say, "Oh, can you imagine being a pro athlete playing a kid's game chasing a ball around when there's war in the world or when it's like, shut the fuck up." Literally, that's what makes the world go round. Those of us who are competitors naturally, those of us who played football our whole lives, we play these games because that's how we continue in the game. That's what all of us work for and look forward to. It's not the opposite. Like, oh, who cares if the game's ruined or I can't play football games anymore or whatever. At least I get to go to work tomorrow, or at least I get to wake up and, do whatever. Like, you look forward to these fun things. And for a lot of us, football games are the most fun thing that we do. Therefore, we want to play the best game. We want to actually put our time into something and compete at something that matters. It's not just a waste. It's not just a joke. So when people say, "Oh, these games don't matter," or whatever, they don't. In my opinion, you can directly tie, guarantee those people who say that, directly tie the people who say that to failure, because they don't take their time seriously. Right? Because they don't look at life the right way. And that's just my opinion on that. But whenever people say it, it does drive me crazy. Look at the hours. Even some of the people that say, "Oh, it's just a game, who cares," and blah, blah. Yet they have 4,000 hours in a game. You know what I mean? Like, don't tell me it doesn't matter. That's a lot of time to put into something that just, "Oh, who cares? It doesn't matter."
But also, EA have made a game that's extremely exploitable. You're going to come up against the same teams, the same formations, the same play styles. I think play styles have really, really enhanced people's way of cheesing the game. They know that they make certain players unbelievably OP, and when that happens, you're always going to get people playing using the same teams and the same players. Blitz here says two.
Hey everybody, Peach here, and today we're going to take a look at this.
So make sure you subscribe to F&G. Like I've said it a few times, but he's one of the good ones, man. Not all of them are, but this dude is an awesome, awesome creator, and he's speaking facts. And it's crazy because, like, this is a lot of the stuff that I've been telling you guys, and I only say that because there's this phenomenon in this content creating world that I learned where I'm not some big creator, right? I don't create for views. If you look at how many days a week I drop videos and you look at the topics, I release whatever video can help anybody. Even if my boy Phil wants to know about, the controls in the game and everyone else is like, "We know the controls," I would release the video. I don't care if I'm talking about kits or passing or the new game mode and how much I like it, or how, the newest goals game compares to PES 6 in good ways, like whatever the topic is, even if like 2 people view it and liked it, it was worth it to me. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because with these types of content creators, man, if we don't support them, they're going to eventually go away. And I'm just saying, FNG is one of the good ones. He takes the time, he spits true information. And for me, when I share this, the phenomenon is that, like, you'll have these assholes that come in, and if you don't have a certain amount of subscribers or viewers or something, it's like they don't trust you. If you're going through and you see a topic that you like from a creator, right? FNG is obviously huge. But even if it was, let's say, FNG, but he had 200 viewers, remember, it's just somebody that's just getting started. If they speak facts, if you can fact check them and you like what you hear and they're guiding you in the right way, shoot them a follow, subscribe, whatever you want to call it, support them, because they can help you just as much, if not more. You look at Sanders and the 100,000 subscribers and all that, but he's a bullshit artist, right? Like FNG is an example. You can be a big creator like Nick runs a foot market or Inception and still be legit. But if you see a smaller creator, don't just write them off and think just because they don't have this big following that they don't know what they're talking about. I don't know. That's just a side note I had to throw out there. But definitely support FNG as if he needs it. But I'm just saying. And support the little guys too if they are on the right path and you like what info they're sharing, or entertainment if that's what it is. Whatever.
Same headline, same cutscenes, nothing to grab my attention. Bring back my pro and everything gets 100 times better. There's only so much they can do with that, I suppose. Like, cutscenes wise, there just needs to be more. Ultimately, you need to feel like you've maybe got like a selection of 10 cutscenes to get so that you're still seeing maybe the odd new thing 4 or 5 seasons in. Keep it simple like it used to be, with icons being super rare and promos something you actually look forward to. I also agree, like he says, like you can get a 90 rated squad within like $150. Obviously, don't want people to be having to spend $150 like on a video game, ideally, but like it is true. If you actually want to put a little bit of money into this game, you'll have an amazing squad straight away. Then you've got this level of objective in the future that you've got to work for isn't there anymore. And I don't mean in the sense...
I'll top that. Even if you don't put any money in... Because of the way how many promos there are, even this year where they supposedly held back on the power curve, you can still have an amazing team. You might not have the Hullets, Vieras, R9s. You might definitely need to put money in to get those, right? Or the top players in each promo. There's enough good players in the promos that you can have a competitive team and spend no money. Now, that part of it's good, but it's not... That's not why they do those promos, to give every player a great team. No, they do it so people spend money on packs to get those top of the line players in each promo and in the game. But it does lead to another negative that's probably not intended. But like FNG said, you end up running out of reasons to play because team building is a huge part of Ultimate Team, right? It's the same with UFL. They had their skins system. Okay, and then you could also upgrade players. So after I got bored using Haaland and Mbappe and Messi and Ronaldo, the same at the beginning of UFL, I started getting these lower rated players and maxing them out, getting them to the 91 max. Unfortunately, strikers, I forgot their name for a second, didn't think about the dead end part. When everyone got to 91, what would they do then? And of course, they had to scrap the system. Whereas if they had a little bit of brains, they would have figured it out, like Goals, who has the same sort of upgrade system, but way more advanced, way better. And everyone loved that about UFL, by the way. And the way Goals does it is the UFL way times 1,000, just a way more advanced version. But they have retirement, so you'll never reach a dead end. Your players, as you play, start a clock and they eventually retire, and so you're constantly going to be switching players. So you can have your same account in Goals and never ever get bored of the team building. There's always going to be players that you need to replace, that you want to change, that you want to upgrade. It's brilliant, guys. But it just goes to show the difference with a competent development company and what these incompetent morons do.
for a new promo when one comes out every 48 hours. But that's just me. Those are just my thoughts. Drop it down below as to what you guys think of the current state of FIFA, FC 26, EA Sports. Because for me, I genuinely think we've reached a point of no return. We're never going to get back to the golden age, and we just have to accept that now. Let's get this video to 6,000 likes, though.
You heard him. He wants 6,000 likes. Thank you, FNG. Brilliant video. And he makes a ton of great points, guys. He makes a ton of great points, a lot of which I know I've already told you about, but sometimes coming from a different perspective is good. So before we get into the next part of this stream, I want to talk about why eFootball is going to outlast FC and why it's going to come down to this game here, which is goals, right, versus FC. Now I'm going to get this goals video ready because we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the gameplay and why it's such an amazing game and why everything we talked about doesn't exist in goals and how they purposely meant to do that and go that unique direction in goals. But why eFootball, even with the bull crap, even with the game being in a terrible spot with Smart Assist, even with Konami never really connecting or listening to the player base. Shout out to Goals, another area they do amazing. And it's because it's such a different type of game, right? When you play eFootball, for instance, follow and subscribe to Dominator 2. He is incredible. He's one of the best, if not the best, content creators. He's live right now. So the way they do this whole pro scene, qualifying and all that is dumb. But what I like is in Dominator, even though he's amazing and makes his money off this game, similar to like Inception and Nicky's not afraid to tell the truth. But why eFootball is going to last is because when you watch the gameplay and see how it works, it's a whole different feel. Like when you play Goals or UFL or FC, you would put those in the same category of how the football in those games and the speed of those games, how it all feels. eFootball is totally different. Like I always catch myself missing eFootball despite all the bullshit on top, and that's because at its core, you can play some beautiful football. They've just added a bunch of nonsense on top. And that being so different and having kind of a different market of footballers, that's not easy to translate between like eFootball and then FC or UFL and Goals. If you play any Goals, FC or UFL, you sort of have a feel for each of those three. But eFootball, even if you're an amazing player, it doesn't fully translate. It's the same sport, but a total different feel. And that's why Goals will end up facing eFootball for the crown, because it's a totally different take on a football game. Not to mention, eFootball is huge in the Asian market. So they have this whole other area that EA Sports largely neglected. You hear there's not much South American presence in the game. They don't even have the Brazil national team. There's not much Asian presence in the game, right? Because of eFootball, especially like China has their own version. That's incredible. That doesn't necessarily help Konami out, but they do get these ideas along the way as well. So they have their own kind of system to stay afloat, whereas EA Sports is going to crash and they're fighting two other games for direct players, whereas eFootball almost takes from their own player base. So like when I'm watching this, I love this part. Like the way they did their true to life players in eFootball, the way the players look and feel, all that's brilliant in game. Smart Assist, getting rid of that will make a huge difference. I've been saying it. But it's not to say end all be all. Like they still have a terribly overpowered AI system overall, especially defensively, but overall, right? The AI does way too much in the game. They still have all the restrictive bullshit like FC with the Showtime skills, which are equivalent to like playstyle pluses in FC, as well as different skills that are triggered by AI. They also have the fact that they're constantly re-releasing players. There's no retirement system or in-depth upgrade system like Goals that keeps it interesting. So you get bored of always going after the next Hullet, the next Vieira, and the amount of money you have to spend to enjoy the best players, which for me it's the best part. Enjoying these historical, like these legendary amazing players, or even the mixing them with some great modern day superstar cards. Like I have a Bellingham, right? That's incredible that I use. And then I had I have a Van Dijk in there with next to like Maldini and Thuram, and Coman's in there at defensive mid. I have Vieira, then I have Romario, Ibra. Like they do these players incredibly well, but they cost so much. So when you get into it, like you see that nonsense goal, like the core of the game's great, but the rest is BS. However, because of having that huge Asian market and having such a different take on football, eFootball will outlast FC without a doubt. I even noticed like I built a pretty healthy eFootball community along the way, but there's not much like my crossover with guys that play eFootball and then play other games is not nearly as big. Like my eFootball guys are mainly like eFootball guys. I have that Hulk card. He's amazing. But anyway, that's the bottom line. So as I'm watching this, yes, it makes you want to play eFootball. However, you have to understand that Indominator is playing in a qualifying tournament right now where there's no smart assist, for one. And then for two, he's one of the best players in the world. It would be like watching Anders Vergang play or watching Marquis or Marceau in goals, right? So you have to think about that when watching this, because the way he can say beat smart assist when it's not on in this game, is going to be different. He's going to make it look easy compared to how hard it would be for players like us. So every time I decide to, like, you know what, I'm going to give eFootball another chance because I love it at its core, smart assist ends up ruining it right away. What a ball, though. What a ball. I don't know. We might have to turn it on and play, man. We might have to play. But I also wanted to kind of get into this gameplay because I'm in a bit of a conundrum here. Now, we put that on pause. We'll go to goals. So, I got the invite from Andreas Dorsensen, but then I heard the beta was coming in March, the open beta, so I figured March 1st. And I was like, I want to come into it fresh. There's literally like 5 to 15 players online. That's it in the closed or in the open beta, which is fine because with their unique netcode, you can play players from across the world. So you still get matches. It's still good connection. But I'm saying only the same 15 over and over and kind of not getting to experience goals like fresh. Like I'm so excited to play the open beta and I feel like I don't want to ruin that. But I have a decision to make because come Monday, I'll be able to play the closed beta if I want to. But I've been holding off so far. It's just I'll look at the days away and think, okay, not the first week, but surely it's going to be the second week. And then I start to think, well, what if it's not? Not to mention, I'm such a football gaming freaking fan that it's hard even taking a day not playing. And I'm going on like several, like what, 2-3 weeks? However long it's been. It feels like an eternity though. So I don't know. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. But part of me just wants to play eFootball to fill in the gap, kind of like I did after the Goals Alpha went out. However, going full circle, because it's such a different feel from Goals, I don't necessarily want to do that and totally mess myself up for for Goals. So we'll see what I end up doing come Monday when I get it. Maybe Audrey will get on and give me access tomorrow. Usually it's like the weekends they're not going to respond. We'll have to see. But it kind of worked out to be moving at this time period because it took a lot of this downtime away. But it's also like now I'm fully moved in and I'm ready to get back to football games. So it's either play and kind of spoil that feeling that I'm having. Like I can't wait to explore all the new kits, all the new skill moves. Like guys, look at this. They added some incredible stuff. This was in my video earlier today, but I want to show you this. They added some incredible stuff into goals. General chat. I gotta remember which thing. Coming to beta. Here it is. So hold on, guys. Check this out. Yeah, Phil, that totally makes sense, bro. And like, I don't know, man. I wish if they gave us like if Konami said on this day we will phase out Smart Assist or whatever, or on this day Smart Assist can only be used Division 5 and lower, or only in events or whatever. I would hop into eFootball and play it jointly with Goals in a heartbeat because I feel like it's almost two separate communities of players in a lot of ways. Some crossover, but a lot of separate player bases, and I love both games. But until I know for sure, it's hard to play eFootball because you know what's waiting for you. These no-skill players that are willing to get assistancies Division One players that you're playing great against. You're battling it out. Maybe you're going to win, maybe you're going to lose, and then they just ruin the game and pause and turn on smart assists. Like, there's so many chances for these rat losers that are taking over eFootball to ruin the whole experience, right? And in that case, I'd rather just wait for goals. So it's kind of where I'm at. But look at this, guys. Like, little stuff like this, it makes me, like, happy because watch this, for instance. You see that? It's kind of an opposite of a McGeady, if you will, as far as how effective it can be in the game. So, I'm not sure exactly. Let's see if it says it over here. Goals. So this player's dribbling is 85. So not the best dribbler. But you see it's kind of like an inside turn. So you're shielding the ball. Say you're coming at a defender and maybe they're getting ready to tackle and then boom. Instead of doing... It's similar to the McGeady though, where instead of turning and spinning out, you're spinning inside. So let's watch it again. You see? So instead of dribbling in this direction and then turning like backwards to go out to the player's right towards us, right, they would spin inside, right? They would put their right foot in front of the ball and then spin their body to the left to go towards us instead of spinning behind them. So it's pretty cool, right? And they keep adding this. They have the heel to toe and all that. And it's not like it's crazy, like FC doesn't have crazy skill moves. But what I like about skill moves like these that Goals is adding, it's none of that crazy, goofy stuff that isn't true to football that you wouldn't see players. Like they have the Elastico, the step over, the McGeady, heel to toe. Like the moves that Goals are adding are literally like truly can be effective in game. And the goal is, I want to go to this quote from BDS. That's his initials in Discord. But when I say BDS, I'm talking about the CEO of Goals, Andreas Thorstensen. But when you see stuff like this, I want to show you what he says about animations. Here it is, right here. Read this, guys. This is brilliant. That is brilliant. This is what makes you... Like, if you really know football games, this is the type of stuff that you love to see. You put all this together and you see the vision of these developers. And Konami never gives us enough. They don't connect with us to where we can read stuff like this and get an idea of the direction. Same with EA Sports. Like, EA Sports got better this year, but their game is so screwed and they're always putting updates of what they're fixing as opposed to, like, the direction they want to go. Like, for instance, playstyles. They're now... tweaking all these playstyles because they finally realize they're ruining the games, but that's a fix. Whereas what BDS here is saying has to do with the direction. It gives us something to get excited about that they're building towards. And you can say, oh, well, EA Sports' FC's been around 30 plus years. They used to be like this, but now, no, that's bullshit. You can always improve your game and fix it. I mean, look at all the issues. EA Sports could easily just remove playstyles and start talking about like a new direction they're going, but they simply won't. They won't do whatever they need to do to fix the servers and the game engine and all that. So this is amazing. I want to read this. Animations is a constant work in progress, but animation-driven games like FC, eFootball, and UFL, eFootball is the absolute worst. It is so many animations that, like, even without Smart Assist, it's hard to feel like that satisfying feeling when you score and build up and defend because the AI is doing so much. And FC and UFL are bad too, but it says they look nice, but they're very bad for responsiveness. So they're sacrificing responsiveness for fucking stupid ass graphics. It is not really about adding animations. It is to make sure animations can support a gameplay driven game. So, yeah, the step over doesn't look very realistic when the player does it. But guess what? If making it look more realistic means slowing the game down and ruin, then Goals isn't going to do it. That's the beautiful thing. Whereas these other games, oh, it's got to look just like real life, man. But they do that, and they don't care. It's like, oh, well, it's going to make this game this much worse in this way and this way. Oh, it's okay. We got to make the step over look perfect and make sure the shadows and the tattoos are really glaring in the sun too. Like, priorities are all jacked up. This is much harder to do. if you're going for a gameplay driven game, then adding the animations that don't affect the gameplay, but they make it look better. But that's secondary, and that's much harder to do, as BDS says. But if you compare the alpha in December with the closed beta now, there are already a lot of improvements. He's 1,000% right. We're going to get into gameplay shortly. You can see for yourself. And we will keep on improving for open beta and release. I mean, dude, this dude is the truth. I couldn't have wanted, there's not much he could have said that I would have wanted to hear more than that. Head top, I agree with most of his suggestions. On feedback, a guy called Head Top. Which game does he cover, jerk? Let me look him up real quick. Head Top Football. Let's see who this guy is. Whoops. Looks like I can't find him. Leave me a link and I'll check out his stuff. Head Top. I don't know who that might be. On Goals Discord. Hold on, let me check it out. Goals Discord. I'm never on here, really. I scan it sometimes just looking for BDS's stuff. But, by the way, this is the person, Audrey, that you would want if you want to get access to the closed beta. But you have to have an account, and it's got to be on PC. So it's got to be a Steam account that you have. And I can't remember if you have to have played the alpha or not. But, for instance, I already have an account with Goals. Somebody, if you haven't created an account yet, go create your account on Goals and tell me if you can like tie your PS5 or your Steam and stuff, or if it won't let you. I wonder if you had to already have one existing or if you can create one. They're changing up the entire Discord. So what would it be under? General, probably. That Audrey told me they're changing up the Discord, so I think the feedback part's gone. Unless I'm missing it. I don't think I am, though. I think what you're talking about is general. It's either general or game chat. Head Top, there he is. Head Top. Yeah, so see, they're restructuring. I really like Corb. Corb's badass. Marcel's badass. See these people, these idiots, a couple of these morons on that Pantera guy when I went there stating facts. There's a couple of his idiot followers. Like, it's funny how these guys just spew lies and just think it's okay. But they're like, oh, he's got an issue with Marceau and all them. No. There was some dude that they had an issue with. Marceau and all these guys got in a fight with some Discord group they had. And this dude spread some bad shit about these guys. Telling me, showing me stuff. Well, it ended up being false. I ended up getting the proof. It was this guy that just wanted to set these guys up. Saw that I had a platform. And so we're cool. Like, I mean, there's no problem at all. It was literally just me trying to defend someone I thought was getting bullied. But these guys are all good people. I think Head Top's one of them, too. I don't know. The only guy, and I've said this, and I never back away from how I feel about people, the only one that I kind of didn't really respect as far as what I seen was this guy, Selcho. The way he seemed to, like, use the game in a way to exploit it if it was... It's hard to explain, but Selcho's the only one that kind of had this... bad for the game, toxic, shitty type of behavior that I saw, and I could totally be wrong. But the rest of these guys are all great players and cool. I could care less how they feel about me, but a lot of them are some of the best players in the world. Like Marceau, literally an absolute beast. That's whose gameplay we're about to break down. It's on feedback, but I don't have feedback. Go to it right now and tell me where the feedback is. I think they changed it, bro. Have you been in there lately? Look, start here rules, how to play. Because they're changing the whole Discord. So have you been there lately? I bet you they don't, because it all changed for me when I went back in to look at where I normally go. They also are changing. They're going to create this area for content creators, but they took away where you can put your videos and uploads and stuff. They're changing the whole thing around. See if there's any new esports news, because this game, when they say this game is built for esports or esports ready, they ain't lying, dude. Also, no updates here. This is all the way from January 11th. So, like, Jerk, if you get on Discord right now, I'm willing to bet feedback's not on there. If I'm wrong, tell me, though. If I'm wrong, tell me. So, yeah, it's been very hard to decide if I want to jump in here or not. But think about that, dude. 7 players online only. I mean, I don't want to ruin my experience, man. It's just so hard. But then I forgot to tell you guys, I helped out with Freestyle Football 2, giving them feedback and stuff. I got $25. I got $25, so I could buy that tennis game right now, which does look fun. I just saw Nick made another video. I kind of want to do that. Not to mention my boy Phil dropped 8 on it already and donated it. He's like, if you don't play, no big deal. It's a donation to the channel. But I'm debating, man. Part of me wants to keep breaking down this stuff and going to goals. And I can even do that for a future video. But the other part wants me to jump into a game. Like, I could buy that tennis right now for the money Freestyle Football gave me. So I'm curious. What do you guys think? Would you guys watch some tennis? Or there's also manager mode in FC that I started a while ago that could be fun. But it's just like when I'm watching these games, it's making me want to hop in and play big time too. And I could potentially start playing Monday. You know, so I don't know. Look at those teams. I love the new sharp cards. So his opponent's playing in a 4-3-3 attack. So they have the 2 CMs and the cam. The reason why I don't like the cam is because the cam doesn't drop back. So hold on, I'm going to rewind this just a bit. They have that countdown now. So the goals gameplay that everyone's been seeing lately is all from the closed beta. We are literally just a week or weeks away. I'm hoping just 1 week. They release it right at the start of the second week of March. That might be wishful thinking. If it is, second week, it's got to be in March that we get the open beta. But either way, it's a good thing that we are so excited to play. Now, I'm in a conundrum right now because I am learning a lot from breaking down goals gameplay, from looking from the outside at the state of all of these football games. But I'm a competitor at heart. I love playing the games more than anything, as well as helping people more than anything. And so we can break down gameplay, can still help people get ready for goals. But without a doubt, I am itching and dying to play the goals open beta, because there's no doubt going to be a lot more players. It's going to feel like a full release, but it will be like a dress rehearsal, right? You'll build up your team, you'll get, you'll see how things are done, and then that will get wiped. Full release will come in culmination, they say, with the start of the World Cup. Hopefully that doesn't get delayed a bunch, and then we can all play. So you get kind of a dress rehearsal number 2 for a lot of us who played Alpha, that many of you know was like a full release. But you can learn a lot from watching this gameplay. And in this case, we were watching Marceau. He is the one person that's been consistently streaming, maybe even the only one streaming the Goals Closed beta. So shout out to him. And why it's so awesome that it's him is because he's literally one of the best players in the world in goals. Now, there is a legendary player in goals. Like, if it was like the card ratings, Marceau would be legendary. I meant to say mythic. and Marky would be mythic. Now this Marky guy, if you follow the channel, I actually talked to him on a Discord call during that whole misunderstanding period. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's not. It's nothing. It's over. But you can tell Marky's mindset is that of the number one player in the world. He clearly sees what goals could be. He clearly doesn't want to judge it in relation to just beating the other football games. He wants goals to be the very best, a game that's just great in its own lane at the very top. And that's where he is at number one in the world. So when you watch Marcel and see how good he is, just imagine that there's an even better player. And as far as Marceau's level, there's several beasts out there. So when I was number 30 in the world in the alpha, and I was saying it didn't matter, yes, it doesn't matter with regards to like it's just a practice run. It all goes away. So if you got a lower rank or didn't get ranked at all, don't be discouraged. However, I was very proud to show that rank and happy to get it because of the amount of amazing players that I was competing with and against, right? Well, always against, never with. But I was so proud of it because goals, if you think it's just an arcade game or you see the cartoon characters and think, oh, this will be easy, I'll be able to beat players, right? You see the colorful cards in the stadium and you think, oh, I'll be able to come in and whoop these guys probably. They just got to be casuals. You are going to get your ass handed to you. This by no means is a quote-unquote arcade football game or for fun casual football game only. Every stat matters. It all translates to how these players perform on the pitch, and the better, more skilled footballer, the more knowledgeable player that can translate that onto the sticks, that's who's going to win the game. No other BS to use as a crutch, pure football. So you look here, if you don't know, I'll just tell you the blue cards are the rares. The purple are the one above it, those are epics. Above that are the legendary, which are the orange. And then the gold are the mythic players, the very highest rating players in the game. When you look at Marceau's level, he's a Division 1 player, right? They match it with the colors, like so that would be mythic. I was a Division 2, which would be legendary. But because of this one player out there that's just so much better than everyone that I still haven't seen but heard from people like Marceau and a few others, Ronald, Corb, these guys, this Marky is the only mythic player in the world. And then you got a bunch of legendary players. And then I would honestly put myself, despite my ranking, at like an epic level, right? Being even at number 30 in the world, there's 29 other beasts, even like from 31 to 60, I would say, even maybe 31 to 80 that are amazing. And that's not including some monsters that from FC that are going to come over that didn't play the alpha, right? And we are going to have an absolute killer competitive like player base to have Goals Pro, to have some incredible matches to share with the community. Like, it's going to be a blast, and you get to see some of these here. So why I don't like this setup, though, before we get in, just one thing to start. Marceau's opponent is playing the 4-3-3 attack. Now, these 4-3-3 setups are the best in goals because the players recover very well, meaning the midfielders will get back and help defensively, but they're also going to get up and join the attack. And if you have any CMs or CDMs, they're going to recover all the way back. Any attacking mids, wingers, or strikers, they're going to stay more forward. So what this opponent should have done, this K Koyas, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but is went just a 4-3-3 with 3 CMs, but put more of an attacking role on that central attacking midfielder. So they play as a cam, but they still get back. That way, he's always got 7 players behind the ball. And then in the attack, he'll still have 6. Now, he'll have 6 players behind the ball. And then the attack will be fine. It'll still be 6. But maybe he wanted that central midfielder in a little bit more of an advanced spot. And he feels good enough with his 6 players back. I'm just telling you that if you want the most out of your defensive cover, any CMs or CDMs will get back, but don't worry because in this game, CMs will also get up and help the attack. So in that case, I would not want this middle midfielder to be an attacking mid, right? I'd want that to be a CM if I was going with this 4-3-3 type. Even though I do love having a cam in this game. So it's kind of like you have to pick or choose what you want. Do you want an attacking midfielder and having that kind of tool, that engine, that number 10 in your build-up? Or do you want that extra player back, and so you sacrifice and use that player as a CM, and they'll still push up like a cam, but they'll be a little further back. They won't be in that area in the middle to receive the ball and help bridge from the defense into your offense. So just a little info into kind of the movement of the players and goals and how their recovery works, especially for the center mids. But you see, players will look at this cartoon look, which, by the way, the art and stuff is sharp. It's excellent. It just doesn't have that realistic look, and it's not the licensed players. But people will mistakenly see this and think, oh, this is one of those easy. This is like the old backyard soccer games. I'm going to dominate. But trust me, it's pure skill, and you're about to see that. So Marceau's obviously in the white. Let's see if I could guess what he was playing, by the way. Let me see this real quick. So 4 backs. I think he's in a 4-3-1-2 based on seeing this. It's definitely some type of 4-3-3 setup, but we'll see at halftime. Simple, how are you, my man? Welcome, bro. Glad to have you. We're just going to go in-depth into some Marceau goals gameplay. So when you see players getting through, and sometimes it might not look like they should have got through, they're probably holding the shield button, right? So when you're dribbling and the defender's on the side of you and they're getting ready to commit, remember there's more physical tackles now, which is something I was talking about they needed in the alpha, and I'm glad they added it. But when you see, and it looks like a defender maybe just almost lets the attacker go, when you get a defender next to you, if you time it right while they time their tackle, they'll bounce right off you if you have the shield button. Good stuff by the opponent here. Man, and it's these kickoffs, dude. So I want to show you something. It's not necessarily a kickoff glitch, but they got to figure out. Let me show this again. Let me go a little further back. It's hard to rewind this. All right, so Marceau got the ball taken away. Once he scores, we'll be able to watch, but it's fine on the playback. Look at that beautiful ball, dude. Just look at the movement and stuff, man. Great defense. Notice what mattered there defensively, by the way. Notice what mattered there. It was him manually reading the pass and pulling his player into the passing lane. You just don't see that in other football games. You would be pressing like AI assistance there, like some other BS. Like, what matters in goals defensively, like how decision making oriented it is, meaning decision making is your number one tool, not what play style you have, right? Not like the build of your players, some other BS, the player role. Literally your decision making, right? It's unique. It's what UFL kind of was going for at their very first, the way their defense was at the very beginning during early release, and they just shit the bed and just went to the AI route. But you gotta love it. Good ball in. Gonzalez. So not sure if he held shield there. See, it's a little harder to see. Remember, their priority is gameplay than animations. But either way, maybe his player is just bigger. The opponent just missed a tackle. But good save by the keeper. Remember, AI controlled. And a little unlucky for the opponent. Marceau's able to get the rebound. But you create the chance, and good things come, and that's what happened for Marceau there. Now watch this. Let's see what the issue here is and why these kickoffs. A lot of times your players' spacing is what causes it, and they don't like react like they normally would, and so it leaves these spaces open after kickoff. Let's see if that's what happens here. All right, so you see the spacing, right? The midfielders for Marceau didn't drop. They're kind of pushed up. It's just not like the same as regular gameplay, it feels like. They won't collapse. They leave huge holes. And so let's see what happens from here. And this might have just been a great goal. I'm not trying to take it away, but you see a ton of goals after kickoff. And they don't necessarily look, they're not like over-the-top through balls, or they all pass to this guy, then this guy, and go. But it does seem like there's too many goals from kickoff, and it looks like it's because the spacing, the players on defense don't collapse right and cover the hole, so you're able to just march through. I mean, look at this. I wonder if he meant for that center back to come over like that, because it's actually a defensive mistake. But his midfielder, look, they normally recover great, and his midfielder's at the top of the screen, almost out of the screen, because so maybe that's who he wanted to pull over, but it pulled over a center back. But once he did this, he's pretty much toast, right? So you could say it's bad defending by Marceau to pull his center back out of the center, but he had no other help, and his midfielders, it's something about these kickoffs, man, I'm telling you. I could be wrong, but it feels like the midfielders don't track like they normally would. And this screen shows it. Any other play will pause it when the opponent's dribbling down at the top, cuts back at the top of the box, and you'll see a lot better coverage, but we'll test it out. Nice Trivella. Look at that finish, is so nice, dude. What a Trivella. So satisfying, the goals in this game. I wish I could literally ask Marceau about that, right? Let's listen to him a little bit.
Bro, when somebody is like behind you, you can literally never scare.
2-1.
Scare move.
Low driven to the corner. Dude, it's been so long that I forgot. I think it's the same as FC double tapping shoot. Wait, is it? Double tapping shoot. Yeah, double tapping shoot is low driven, but it's like, dude, that's how long it's been, guys. Like, I'm having drawn blanks on some simple stuff, but it's so exciting. Like, I can't wait to step into the game. Like, the only skill moves I tried is the pullback, the scissors or step over, whatever, and then the ball roll. That's it. That's it. And then shielding, obviously. Right? You got so much more now. Not to mention the game's just sharper.
I think we didn't got these skill move buffs today. If I'm not wrong, sadly.
He said, sadly, he was not in support of the skill move buffs. See, I listen to all this stuff because this dude beat me literally 9-1 in the alpha. I played him one time, but it was during like a toxic. It was during this moment where we're disagreeing, and like it became all about over the top through balls purposely being toxic. So I could see the dude's skill. I even broke down. There's a video of it on my channel where I broke down just like brilliant passing and moving. You could see it, but it also got toxic. Like the way we played, I didn't get to see like the sharpness. So I wish I could have played Marceau again, because like, but the little glimpses of seeing his like what makes him so good, his decision making, especially in the fast shorter passes, ping 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 ping. He's just making these great decisions, and then he did so well at perfectly timing, like when to do the pullback, when to scissor, when to shield the ball. And so his timing, his decision making, right? Seeing his options and quickly playing the ball, not getting caught or stuck where he even if the small space is open, he can find the open player. Like, that's what makes him such a great player. Same with defense, just anticipating, being ahead of the play, probably knowing what the opponent's going to do before the opponent knows. So he was just all over everything, whereas defensively against him, I'm chasing him around, I'm behind the play. His decision making is just so fast, and he reacts quickly to it, makes the right decision on the sticks to match, what he's seeing. Oh, good D.
I should not.
See that physical battle there? I love it. Oh, Jerk, I see you in Marceau's stream too.
I thought they didn't do it today.
That's sick, bro. I see you in there.
This game of buff.
So you've seen these games. If there's a really good one that you remember, let me know. I'll break that one down.
Alright, by the way. Nah, bro. I think we don't need a wager mode.
A wager mode.
We don't need that. Now, what I'm hoping for a lot of like good players with the open beta. The Nations Cup is going to be very interesting. And I fucked up myself with the dummy right now.
Oh!
We will have a very
should have
interesting
played.
tournament.
You should seen he had his teammate running through. He should have played. That was actually a great run from his teammate too. Let's see. I think Marceau's in a 4-3-1-2. He usually plays like some type of 4-3-3 or 4-3-1-2. Let's see if I was right about 4-3-1-2. Then I've seen him try other ones, like he'll try 3 backs, which work great in goals. But, dude, a player like Marceau using a 3-back is scary to think about. Endless options in the attack, and I feel like he could cover defense. I wish I could ask him that too. Like, I wonder why he doesn't play a 3-back if it just messes up his flow and how he likes to play. But I could see him just dominating in that. And I gotta see this Markey play, bro. I can't believe the dude doesn't do content. Because that dude is truly special. Like, from what I've heard from these other top players, that Markey just stomps all of them out.
I don't believe this.
And seeing his record in the
success
alpha,
rate.
it's insane how good he is. He's literally the Anders Vergang, or maybe even better than that, of goals. Which is freaking awesome for the game.
Ah, fuck. Hey, good luck, Azaria. Good luck. Yeah. This one, yeah, done. Skills, yeah.
All right, let's see what he was playing.
GG.
He's really quick with going through, so I gotta be ready. There it is. 4-3-1-2, I was correct. His opponent switched from a 4-3-3 attack to 4-2-3-1. But look at the difference. In that 4-3-1-2, he's got the best of both worlds. That's what I'm gonna play as well. So he's got his 3 center mids, right? And remember, don't look at the positions on the players in there because they have several positions they can play in game. You literally read their stats and determine it. So when you see, for instance, a wing mid in the center of the midfield and then a striker in the center mid and the center forward is a cam, like, they can play multiple positions. But the reason why the 4-3-1-2 is the meta setup is because with his setup, he will have 7 players behind the ball, his 4 backs and his 3 center mids. Then, when he works the ball in the attack, he has the cam, so he's got that number 10, which is super important for those quick tiki-taka, like the build-up. I like it a lot better than having 2 wingers and a striker, like a typical 4-3-3. So then 7 behind the ball, so 1 extra player, whereas you look at the 4-2-3-1, a very defensive setup, typically very solid, but the opponent's only going to have those 6 players back. Then on the attack, he'll have the 4 players up, and depending on his 2 center defensive mid, his 2 CDMs, he might only have 4 in the attack, he might have 5, he might have 6. Whereas Marcel 1000% has at least 5, probably 6 players getting up. Because he has no defensive mids, right? But still, his 3 center mids will drop just the same as defensive mids. So anyway, that's why I think the 4-3-1-2 is the very best. You can check it. We'll watch it the next game. You'll see what I mean with the coverage. Any center backs, wing backs or fullbacks, CMs and CDMs, they drop back and help, right? And then wing midfielders are the only one with an asterisk, because I learned that if you play like a 4-4-2, those wing mids won't necessarily drop back as heavily. If you're in a 3-back and there's no wing backs, those wing mids do tend to come back and help very much defensively. But wingers right? So that's LM and RM, what I was just talking about. They'll drop back depending on the situation. But LW and RW, the actual wingers, as well as cams and strikers, they will not drop back. At most, they're kind of showing for the ball, but they're still pushed up. You'd have to manually bring them defensively. But if you want to learn how to properly defend in goals, there's no crutches. You got to get back with your defenders. You got to jockey when you need to jockey, tackle when you need to tackle. Choose the correct, whether it's sliding, standing, whatever. Choose when to commit and come in and just win the ball. It's all skill based. So 4-3-1-2, in my opinion, is the best. That's the knockout mode in case you haven't seen it and what it looks like. It seems like a lot of games. You see he's got the record right there, and as he goes up from goal 3, goal 2, goal 1, and the goal is to get into the knockout round. And really, it's quite simple. It's their version of champs. Each level that you're at, you have a certain amount of losses you can get. Once you get those losses, you're knocked out, right? And you want to go up as high as you can get, and then there's rewards as you climb. And it's got rewards all the way up to the number 1 in the world, number 2 and number 3, and then like top 25, top 50, or top 50, top 100, whatever. But whether you're like a very casual player, you don't get very far, or you're the number 1 player in the world, you get rewards accordingly, right? And the games are a couple minutes shorter than FC, so you can grind out like the 25, 30, whatever games it is to play and complete the whole thing, right? And I'm assuming, I guess if you win enough, you keep going. I don't know if there's eventually a cutoff for anybody. You know, no matter if you just can't lose, because I bet you guys like Marceau might have that issue, or Markey especially. But I don't know. I know if you lose a certain amount in each round, you're out. But I don't know if there's a certain amount of wins where you just, that's it. Like, a part of me wants to say that it's a win till you get those losses. But, and I know this only goes a problem for a few players in the whole world. But what happens if you just never lose? Does it just never end? I wonder that. And I might be missing some details for sure, but that's the cool part about this is I'm going to be like a kid on Christmas once the open beta comes.
Oh, I hate that. Making or like some. I just want to find games. I can't wait for the open beta when you hopefully find games all the time, or at least have maximum like 1 minute queue time. Players.
See, the queue times are ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's only 9 players online right now. Whereas, like, the minimum you might get at a weird time during alpha would be, like, let's say 60 or 40 or something like that. But, like, from, like, 3 players online to 9, and, like, I don't know. I don't want to burn myself out or, like, ruin that awesome feel of, like, a brand new gold version of goals with all the stuff they added, you know?
Time.
It almost feels like I'm going to be spoiling it, but I don't know. We'll see Monday if it's going to be too hard to resist.
And then
should be going into a game soon here.
it's very big, bro. I think 32 is not even impossible. No.
Here we go. Man, it's always against the same players, unfortunately. I think I'm going to skip over this because I think he dominates this game. Let's see. Yeah, he had to have because he quit it out. What was the score? A lot to a little, right? Oh, no. Holy shit. All right. Let's go back and watch this.
A few days. What do you mean against Oh my god, I moved to forwards are pretty bad, bro. We should have played it like
playing that. A 4-2-3-1 narrow, it looks like. The opponent versus 4-3-1-2. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, they are pretty good, yeah. Lovely, bro.
Oh no, see, I don't like seeing that in the corner, man.
I just went try to block.
You look at what they're saying this Matt JJ, it says lofted through spam, which I went through my period doing that period of time, like, oh, it's not broken, and it definitely is. And then it says be careful of lofted through spams, and he even tried the kickoff glitch. I'm guessing he tried the lofted through from the kickoff, which was, hopefully they got rid of that. You would just play lofted through from the kickoff. I even defended it for a little period of time when I was just like almost just so happy that goals didn't have all the other bullshit, but
Get shot there.
they definitely needed to get rid of that. If hopefully, but if this Rodrigo's still talking about it, or sorry,
What do you
Jack
mean against
Andre,
lofted through, but
then I'm guessing it's still in the game. I don't know. Oh, what a ball! Dude,
Oh, there's
dude,
okay, just forget
look
the
at that
ball.
left stick. Oh,
Bro, like there's 4 players. They're building a wall in front of me, bro.
damn, he's frustrated. Said 4 players building a wall in front of him. This is gonna be a fun one to watch, guys.
Yeah, I know. This was what I was thinking, Rodrigo. That this is garbage. Because I was just already going to check you on. And didn't have anything. Come on, bro. Oh. Like, what am I supposed to do? Oh, Mocha, I also don't know. We had bad lofted forwards for a few days. And then all of a sudden came the, hey, we made lofted forwards better. I also don't know why we let it like that. Because they were very bad, bro. That was good from him. Should be a goal. Not deserved, bro, but I take this. I don't know, bro. And some people do everything to just win a staging game. Will be even more lovely in the open beta. Oh my god.
All right, I'm back. Had to get some coffee.
No. Bro, same. Same. No, that was broken. Like, the accuracy is insane. Oh, literally, even. Like, I don't know, like, maybe you should not lose all your speed when you do a scale move.
You saying maybe don't do all
Oh
the
my
speed.
God.
Damn, what a hold on, dude. I gotta see that one over.
Bro, same. Same. Accuracy is insane.
All right, let's watch this. Didn't look as smooth. Like,
Honestly, and like I don't know, like maybe you should not lose all your speed when you do a skill move.
oh, bro. You got to give him credit there. That was a slick little pass. I like the step overs look slicker.
Sending a player on a run and doing like a normal pass is literally very bad.
Oh, nice movement. Nice ball movement. See those quick little tiki-takas? Oh, heel the toe. No way.
No, bro, why my player never go for the block? Do I should just let the AI defend?
What's your guys' take on that, I wonder? Is like, because I just watched some highlights. I put it in my video talking about the development team, how good they were. There's one highlight that I just randomly pulled where I'm defending manually, and my player sticks out his foot and blocks it perfectly, but unfortunately after that it rolls to his player, and it was a true football goal. It was very unlucky by me, but my player made a good initial block is the point. And Marceau feels like his players never block. Like I've heard him say it several times. So I don't know, is that stat related? Is it his defenders don't? Because I know blocking's a stat, and like the range that they can block has to do with the stat, or what? Do they need to improve that? Nice goal, by the way. Nice battle. But this player isn't really.
Yeah, I know, Jake, but I don't know.
What I'm seeing in the comments doesn't match how this player is playing. Maybe it's because he knows the dude's streaming. I don't know. So if you just flick the side, you get a body feint. But if you hold it to the side, you get a ball roll. Yeah, that's like FC style. Oh, nice little ball. Look at that. See, he already had his next pass thought of. Didn't work out. Good defense, honestly. It might have been just lucky where his players were, but. What a game, dude. Oh, see
the. Oh, I loved it through, boy.
See? So that's.
Oh my god.
So that's where Marceau was absolutely correct. Like when I was defending lofted through balls, because it looked slick there, right? But where I was defending it, that's where they're like, no, it's bullshit, because it just locks on to the player, and now you got that UFL type shit going. So hopefully they do something about that. Because you don't want to just sit there and have a lofted through ball fest back and forth the whole time. Because the rest of it, football is so good, but when you have that bailout, right? I remember it messed up my gameplay big time, dude. Like I was still climbing up, and then when I just cut it out because I'm like, there's no way the goals devs are going to let this stand how powerful it is. It really messes you up when you start relying on lofted through balls. You just automatically go for that each time. All right, Marceau ended up winning that one. I'm really debating playing some tennis. Look at Marceau crushing this dude this time. They just play the same several players over and over. Man, that would get boring. And then he starts playing 5v5. Oh, Corb. I want to watch this. Corb's a beast. So I have battles with Corb too, dude. So good for Corb. He must have played really good here because I have battles with him. We are like even. Like I've beat him several times. He's beat me. He's a really knowledgeable dude. Really good dude. I really like Corb. He helped me out a lot too as I was like kind of navigating the game. He's a good player. he's one of those players from that misunderstanding that, like, at first I was hearing these bad things about, and the dude couldn't be nicer, dude. He's such a good dude. All right, 0-0, 5th minute. Let's break this down. I want to watch this from its like start to finish. Let's go to the very beginning here. See what formations Corb's playing, and because we know Marceau's in the 4-3-1-2 unless he switched it. Let's see. Nope, he didn't. There it is. So, what you learn from breaking down gameplay in any game, whether it's goals, FC, UFL, efootball, what you learn from watching can truly help you, right? Because when you are playing and breaking down your footage from the outside, it's obviously different from when you're playing. You're going to see different things. And that's good to break down your gameplay and criticize yourself and see areas where you can definitely improve. But without a doubt, watching other players, particularly skilled players that you aspire to get to their level, or at least aim to get better towards their level, even if you don't match them, right? You need to watch these other players play as well. See certain situations where they do correct things that you might have made a mistake. As you're watching this, I challenge you along with me to think about what you would do. Like, and the ball's moving quickly, so you got to be quick with it. Look in the moment who you would pass to. Notice the quickness in decision making. Could you make the decision that quick, or would you hold on to the ball longer? Notice the decisions defensively. Think in your head when you commit to a certain tackle, or would you slide tackle. Just think about the areas where your decision making is either the same or different than both Marceau and Corb here. Two excellent players, two top players in the world. And so when you do that, you can start to get an idea of the areas you need to work on. If every time in the attack you're way behind in your decision making, you can't keep up, well, you know you're struggling with the speed of your decision making. Because the slower you are on the ball, the more opportunity your opponent has to get organized and also to steal the ball away. On defensively, the more indecisive or the more decisions you make that are incorrect, the more goals your opponent's going to score. Right? Same in the build up to create chances. The better decision making there, the quicker that the good decisions are made, the more situations you'll get where you're attempting to score goals as opposed to losing the ball to your opponent. Now you have to go defend. So watch the game in that manner, and I guarantee if you do that and you continue to do it and you get better and better at analyzing not only your gameplay but other players, like I said, that you aspire to get to, I guarantee you will improve. It's no different than true football if you ever played at a high enough level to break down film with your team, with your managers, one-on-one, even if you just did it yourself watching your gameplay. You can learn a lot from it. It's just the same exact thing, only your decisions are on the sticks instead of you making the decisions. And you control your whole team of players on the sticks, not just what you do, and then learning your teammates' tendencies. You actually control all the players. So let's get into this and see if we can't learn something. Marceau versus Corb. I know for a fact it's a barn burner, but let's see some of the decision making. So Corb is in the 4-3-1-2. That's exactly what Marceau is playing, so a mirror match. And let's go ahead and hear what these guys have to say through this game as well. What a ball, dude.
Now, bro, how this cannot go in?
See, now, like, I wouldn't have went for the low driven there. I would have went back
He's
post.
onside, and now he scores. Like, he's so dumb.
Unlucky.
Should also be a goal, by the way.
Corb came to play, man. So now they each missed out on an opportunity. Oh, nice pullback.
Where's my defense? God.
Damn, Corb. I like that angle for the replays. I always wish they would make you watch one replay. One replay. They used to do that in UFL, but they'd make you watch them all. But I wish they would make you watch at least like the initial replay. If either player presses, they could do more.
I guess I
But
just run past the keeper.
I like to always see like where I made a mistake or where I did good, you know, in the moment.
Is he off? Nice off.
Damn, Corb's playing really good, dude. But Marceau, you know, you can't count this dude out. He's amazing. Good ball movement. Oh, beautiful. Slice them and dice them. See?
Finally, bro, I can score. Finally.
So that's what I said I would have done the first one, and I'm glad to see it worked out there. So, like, little stuff like that, you know? Just like, okay, I wouldn't have went low driven there. Okay, it looks like that would have been the right decision. All right, now watch the runs that he's looking for. Watch. It's all through the center. All these shorter tiki-taka passes. Same with Marceau. Marceau's very quick in the attack. Less dribbling. Corb is more dribbling. Forcing the defense to move out of position.
But this guy's
And Marceau's more passing. And beautiful.
Hey, bro,
oh.
what is with his goalkeeper?
Wow. Should be 2-2 for sure. Well, I mean, each of them missed. You can say that for a lot of.
How is that a foul?
So I wish, like, if say BDS was in here or Andreas Thorstensen, otherwise known as, I would ask, like, okay, so for keepers, I love the AI part. I hate goalkeeper movement. I think it's so dumb. It's not realistic the way it's done. So I'm glad you guys went the AI route. But what exactly is it there that made the keeper save those? Like, what could Marceau have done better? It has to be skill-based. Like, oh, well, the goalie just has great stats on this, and he did this wrong. Like, I wish there was something there, because I don't want it... Oh, my gosh, let's hear what he says. I don't want it to turn into eFootball where it's like a gamble, where even if you have a 99 shooter, it's almost like a gamble each shot on if they decide if you'll score or not. It's got to be 100% skill-based, which is... Or close to that. That's where, like, precision shooting comes in FC. That's one thing in FC that I think they did great that I wish goals would add something like that. Like a precision shooting type of effect. And by the way, make sure you like and follow Marceau. Like I say, he's one of the best.
Oh my god, bro, this is deserved after all these
And he's been doing a great job of streaming every day and giving us a chance to see all the updates and stuff, man. So, shout out to Marceau. Make sure you follow him on his YouTube and Twitch. Alright, let's see how the second half goes.
Yeah, I don't know, BDS would tell you no, it's that space, bro. Fuck. Because they are supposed to be better when you have a player with good stats.
Pull back.
God. My player never go for blocks. Like, literally never.
See, he's talking about the blocks again, and I see where he's coming from, honestly. But maybe there's an explanation, because, like, we'd have to see his player stats with the blocks. You'd think at least some of his defenders would have great blocking.
Nice.
Just great ball movement. Quick, sharp decision making. Oh, he had a through ball there. And by the way, watching from the outside in, hindsight's always 20/20.
Ref.
In the moment's much different. So I'm not saying I would have made the 100% right decision.
No, I passed this player. Oh my god.
Takes it right at the defense. Oh, good stuff by Cord. Oh my gosh, a little lucky there.
Oh my, bro, what is happening here?
But beautiful build up to get to there, though.
Shoot at free kicks, bro, and then this would never happen.
And trust me, I'm not saying the beautiful build up was from Marceau's mistake. I'm saying after that. I know that Marceau gave him the ball in the free kick. I'm saying after that, it was good decision making. And then he was lucky to get the goal, but he got it there to create the chance. Well done by Cord. Look at that. What a player. 94 pace, but only 81 shooting, 90 passing, 95 dribbling, 50-some defense, 79 physical. So wait, let's read what this says. So he's a winger, 23 years of age, 1 upgrade available. Legendary player, Troost, from the Netherlands. Man, I missed. Oh, I can't wait to get my team for open beta. Then, of course, we get one more reset, and we get our team for full release, and that is your team. I can't wait. Like, I don't want any alt accounts. I don't want anything. I just want my account, all the good, the bad, everything that comes with it. I can't wait to just start with my journey with my team, dude. It's like the way Goals did it is incredible, man. You got to give them their flowers. Like the weekly rewards and waiting to open packs, hoping you get a new beast or a new player to even upgrade that's going to be a future beast, or getting the upgrades so you might be able to get a player beasted out with upgrades. Like the way the weekly rewards are, like I was excited every week for them. And the fact they're repeatable now, I'm like, dude, just W after W for Goals. But you're seeing it's not a perfect game. I'm not saying that. You're seeing where they're talking about the lofted throughs they have to fix. People are saying that they have to fix what's it called? Like the lofted through balls. Marceau's talking about the blocks, for instance. They're saying even the regular through balls are like too accurate, I believe. You heard him earlier say the skill moves, like he wishes they weren't sped up. But he also said he really liked the gameplay overall. Like this is nitpicking everything to make a perfect game, but when I say how good it is, I just want you to know I'm recognizing some of these things. Clearly nowhere near the issues other games have. Nice tackle.
Good sliding tackle.
Beautiful by Cord there. Balls to tackle there too, by the way. Confidence, great timing. Oh, there's the shield, I believe.
Let's go,
Holy shit.
Torstensson. I don't know how I stay on the ball, yeah.
See, he even said he doesn't know how he stayed on, how he didn't lose the ball there, but I don't know if he pressed shield or not. That's the other thing I want to add on mine. I'll probably put it in the bottom right corner above like where the player where that says Kasim, but I wish he had that overlay. You know, that would be great. Oh, he's in. Oh, no. And then great defense at the end by Pazos.
Nearly worked.
But great run, great football by Marceau. What a game.
I agree, Rodrigo, I agree. I think the game would be much better without it. I really would like to see how the skills and everything would work when this wouldn't be there.
Remove physical tackle from the game. Interesting. So I was saying I want that.
Because, bro, this is so broken, man.
It doesn't mean that I'm right. I could have been wrong to want it. That's what they're saying.
How should I change it? But I'm always against this thing.
So he's saying, or make it a separate button. So when you tackle, the physical challenge is what bumps the defender off. But they got to have some sort of physical challenge in my mind, because that's part of football. Like, the defender's aggression helps them out. But I wonder why they're against it. I wonder, like, in knocking the player off the ball, feeling like it's too automatic. They're trying to think, like, what is it exactly that they're against? Because I feel like it just adds to the game. It gives defenders a much needed, like, tool that they use realistically in football.
Just very broken mechanic.
And he's saying it's very broken mechanic. If he's talking about 28, you're stupid. What the hell? You get a separate button. You think there's enough? Wait, I go back to Resident Evil soon. Put forward. Yeah, he's got to be talking about physical tackle. There's nothing else on there they're talking about. Who's gonna win this game?
Oh my god.
I'm rooting
What
for
is
Corb
going
only
on?
because, well, for one, Corb's my boy. Even though I like Marceau, Marceau's like, it would be an upset, bro. You gotta root for the underdog. Oh, what a ball! As I say it,
This keeper's just watching. I also think it should be like a separate button.
separate button. See. So apparently, standing
But honestly, they
tackle,
should just remove it. I think good players in knockout, they would just abuse this all day.
abuse physical challenge. I think is what he's saying. I could be wrong.
In the open beta. Right, but you have a red anyway. Where's my defense, by the way?
The red card's there.
GG.
Looks like it's gonna end. Marcel, what a goal to win it, by the way. Right as I was saying I want Corb. Hold on. So Marcel clearly outplayed him. Pretty even on everything except for possession time. But not that much different in passing. Interesting. Yeah, man. I mean, you can learn a lot from these guys. You still got to get out and do it yourself once you get on the sticks, but there's still just a lot to learn. So now the decision comes, boys. I want to get on the sticks myself. It would be 48 hours to wait to play goals because I've been trying to hold off, and I still feel like that's a smart move, by the way. I really do. I really feel like that's a smart move, man. But I also kind of want to play. But would I even really care to, like, want to play tennis? Even though it does look kind of fun, but am I just jonesing for games? Definitely don't want to play FC. Decisions. Man, goals is really coming at a good time, though, dude. Goals is really coming at a good time. Let's see what we have here. So I should have $25. Yeah, 25. Thank you to Freestyle Football for that. The Show 26. I used to love playing that, bro. Apex Legends. Wait, isn't that what I was playing? Apex Legends. Tried Rocket League already. Dead by Daylight. I think my boy Boomfa has been playing that. What in the hell? Oh yeah, that's like a game, like a strategy game, I think. Ghost of Yote. That mask is dope. It's like I heard good things about that. Where the Winds Meet. All these games in like Asia are crazy. There's a bunch of like these former Japanese. What's this game about? What does it say? Doesn't give you a breakdown. There it is. Open world action and adventure rooted in the rich legacy of Wuxia, set during the turbulent era of 10th century China. You take on the role of a young sword master, uncovering forgotten truths and the mysteries of your own. Yeah, I almost fucked with this game. Played this. This reminds me of like maybe a different version of. See, it's not out yet. Release 3.5. There's like a special thing going on for it though. Man, Mortal Kombat 1? Wait, what? They re-released Mortal Kombat? What do you mean Mortal Kombat 1? I gotta read about this. Mortal Kombat universe created by the fire god Liu Kang. Mortal Kombat 1 ushers in a new era of the iconic franchise with a new fighting system, game modes. What? They ushered it in? But look, it's back like a I want to see a trailer for this. What, they added Ghostface? No. You're lying, bro. There ain't no way.
You'll have to kill me to find out. If it's revenge you want, have at it. You hear me arguing?
That's dope, bro. They added Ghostface to Mortal Kombat. Standard edition Definitive Combat Pack Chaos Reigns. Elder God bundle. Damn, bro. But look, you gotta pay. Oh, look at the characters you can get. Madame Bo. Oh, the T-1000 with the sword arm. Conan. The Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan. Ghostface. Cyrax. Noob. Cybot. Sector. Katana. Bro. Damn, Mortal Kombat 1, a new universe, it says. There it is. Where are the videos, though? I want to see, like... Damn. NASCAR. Man, I wish I had a racing, like, simulator, like the cage and everything. I'd play that. Or cage? What am I talking about? Like, the car thing? I don't know. I gotta think on it, bro, before I just buy Top Spin. I mean, the free 25 is good, but I don't just want to waste it if I'm not really gonna play. $70 for all this new shit. I already got Rivals downloaded. It's kind of dope. We'll have to see, man. But anyways, we will go from there. Let's read some of these comments before I go, see if there's anything I want to respond to from these. YouTube Studio. Videos. Video comments. Let's see them all. See if there's anything new. No, I think you don't understand the concept of freedom of thought and speech. Standing on high ground, begging for engagement. Bro, are you crazy? Freedom of thought and speech. Literally what I am doing. Freedom to call out a con man and share my thoughts and speech on the liar. There we go. He said, I don't understand the concept of freedom of thought and speech because I'm pointing out, look at when I'm calling out all these issues while this Pantera guy was saying how great the game is and buying packs and stuff, pointing out that he knew all along the game was broke. He didn't just discover it. He knew the skin system was going out, a dead end, and he was still promoting it because he didn't want to lose viewers and subscribers because he wanted to clearly stay on Striker's good side. Whatever his motive was for hiding shit from his community, or unless he just admits, I don't know shit, man. I didn't know it. You knew it, I didn't, and so I truly thought that the game was great and all that, and I just found out just now. It doesn't make sense if you really think about it. It's clear that the dude knew what he was doing and just didn't give it, I can't tell my community, until it fit him to bring it up, because eventually it's so obvious that you can't hide it anymore. You can't lie. But this is what these idiots come over and think. Some weirdo. These are the same weirdos, this moldy guy would be the same weirdo that defends his favorite actor who's a chomo, or his favorite athlete who, is on steroids or whatever. They end up liking someone so much that these weirdos don't make sense. How is that a response? Right? I think you don't understand the concepts of freedom of thought and speech. Standing on high ground and begging for engagement. Literally pointing out the facts of a con man who I've always stated that I can't stand, because they come into whatever they're covering, in this case a football game, and UFL in particular, and they just lie. For what, a few bucks? It's a joke. It's just so funny. So out of all those people, he's got, 3, 4 people in here, maybe 12 on his, so maybe 16 out of 1,000, 1,500 that have watched for mine and his that speak up. And out of that, you probably would say, even, let's just make it up and say 50 people have a brain and can think for themselves and have seen it. Well, then I save those 50 people from following this moron down a dead end like he led him with UFL. Always a day late and a dollar short. All because of some views and subscribers. So who's begging for engagement again? But anyway, I just wanted to check that and read into it and see. But yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back later. In case you guys didn't see this part, this was very interesting. I was going back and forth with this dude, and then I left this on there when he's like, what's up with your timeline? I could say this and that. And so I laid it out in more detail. And all of the comments back and forth, he left. But he was sitting there deleting this actively. And I knew, because I was at a tournament and I was looking at it. I was like, oh my God, he's actively on there deleting it. I know how it comes across. When you tag someone, it'll pop up on your phone. You'll get notified. And then you can immediately go delete. Or leave it, read it and leave it. So he was actively deleting it. And since I had time in the middle of this turn, I'm just literally just reposting. But I wanted to post this here so you guys could read. This is what he was feeling so strongly about, that he sat there, delete. And when I saw it was so important for him, for his viewers not to see, I went and posted it through all of his videos. And this is what it said. This is what he was so scared to leave up. At Pantera Too Cold, here are the facts. Months and months you have played UFL, more than me, And you still have not even come close to the very top where me and even my main guys left the game at. We also did it when the best players still played, when the numbers were much higher in UFL. And I asked them, why is that? That all this extra time and you never could accomplish anything. You can never even get to the top of North America, like in your group of players, right? And I just was poking them a little bit there. It's okay. You don't have to be a top player, but I just wanted to ask them. So then I said, on every occasion, I warned my community about scams and broken mechanics. You have videos on those same days where I'm pointing out these new broken things from updates, broken scam nonsense, whatever it was, just letting my community know. Saying, and then on those same days, this dude would make content. You can go back and look at this yourself, like where I put UFL exposed, look at this latest scam. He'll be putting, guys, look at this amazing challenge. I just put money on this, or I just bought this, whatever, like in his own words. Clearly just ignoring the scam, clearly ignoring the broken shit, right? And so I call him out for it. In Broken Kinks, you have videos on the same day saying how much you love the gameplay and promoting all the new packs and spending money on everything, just like Strikers wants. And that's exactly what they want. No one can deny that. If Strikers looked, they don't want people to show everyone, like, guys, why would you go buy a stadium for $20 to get a couple points of LP each game? If you have the stadium and if you're away, your opponent has to have the stadium. When you lose or when you're away and your opponent doesn't use that particular stadium, you don't get credit for a win, so you don't get any LP. So you would need to play like hundreds of games just to break even for what you spent on the stadium. It is a scam. Do not buy the stadium. It was some same old stadium that was always in the game, but they made it look like, oh guys, huge community challenge where you can earn LP, which is basically their cash system, right? Their out of game currency where you put in money and you get these points. And so people are of course going to be like, oh my God, and buy the stadium. Like, yes, I can earn LP. But you end up losing money. You'd have to play hundreds of games and win them and hope you're not in the away team a lot, or if you are, your opponent has a stadium, to get even. And of course, a vast majority aren't going to make any profit there. And if they do, it's going to be a few dollars. So Strikers clearly knew that you might win $9 worth of games, but you spent $20 for the stadium. You might win $15 worth of games, but you spent $20. So they make $5 of profit here, $10 here, $8 here, $6 here. Huge scam, right? So I would call it out. Well, Pantera would go in and go, guys, this is awesome, a brand new community challenge. You can win LP, guys. It is huge. So I'm going to buy this stadium. Let's see how many games we can win to get some LP, instead of pointing out the obvious, breaking down how many games it would take, warning his community like you're most likely going to lose money here. It's like shit like that, bro. And you can read between the lines and know what's going on there. So I called him out for it. I mean, tell me where I'm wrong about that. Right? So then you have the skin system. That's a whole different example. I warned the skin system was going under. And then this idiot was just continuing to play the game and not talk about it at all. As if his community wasn't spending a bunch of money on these new updated skins to get these updated players when they were going to be shut down. And of course, what happens? Exactly what I warned my community, and saved tons of people money. And even if they decided not to listen to me, at least I warned them. What does Pantera do? Totally lets his community sink, spending hundreds. I mean, people lost a lot of money with this skin shit. And right to the very end, UFL was selling these skins to players. Not warning people, guys, the skin system's going under. Here's a warning. No. But you would think at least Pantera could do it for his community. Does he? No. He wants to keep pushing the game. He doesn't want to piss people off. He doesn't want to chase viewers or subscribers. So he just lets them go. Doesn't warn them. What's he going to act like he didn't know that it was going out? How did I know months earlier? How did I know all of this stuff? Are you just saying you're dumb and you don't know what you're talking about, so you're misleading these guys because you don't know? You're faking it till you make it? Or is it that you knew and you didn't want to help people? Which one, bro? Where am I wrong about this? Why did you keep deleting this if it's not facts? If I'm a liar, why not just leave it up so people can laugh at it or point out where I'm wrong? Point out one thing that I'm saying here where I'm wrong. Point out where I'm being some immature asshole. I'm literally just speaking facts. I don't like commenting. Tell me when watching this where I'm wrong. So then I said, you're a piece of trash, con man, and it does not matter how many weirdos that are too lazy to look up exactly what I'm talking about defend you, because the ones that matter, and people who have brains, already know or have seen for themselves that I'm stating facts. So at the very least, if there's anybody that didn't realize what was going on here and following this trash can, at least now you know, or you can make your decision for yourself. Maybe you say, I don't care, bro. I just like his voice, or just like whatever, just like watching him play mediocre, and that's fine. Then more power to you. But at least now you have all the facts in front of you. For me, I just always want the facts laid out in front of me. So I return the favor to others. That's all it is. Because I went through years of playing FIFA with guys like this that would just clickbait or not share all the info, right? I mean, it's the same with this boss man Katie and Richie using exploits, but then celebrating them on their streams as if it's skill. Not even being honest with their community, how they're doing certain things or why they're successful with certain things. When the players have been playing the game a long time and recognize, you can see that they're using bullshit glitches and exploits, right? They're not even honest with their communities. It's the same with this Pantera. It's con man bullshit. So, I said the truth always wins, my man. Sorry you were quitting UFL, having never achieved anything within the game. I called UFL strikers on their crap at number 10 in the world and number 1 in North America. You can go check that. With the number 1 player in the world, which was Kevin Pedro from South America, right there with me, right? He literally came into the stream one day, said, thanks for your tactics. I used them to reach number 1 in the world, and we became friends ever since. So when we started seeing this game fall off, we didn't say, dude, we're 2 of the best in the world. Might as well just keep playing. Who cares? Like, I get pretty good views on this game. Might as well keep going. No. Right? At the time, this Pantera dude had just started. I remember playing against him, seeing him. He was real small. And even at that time when I had so much to lose, I still was speaking up. Kevin Pedro was speaking up. He doesn't do content or anything, but was in Discord arguing with the community manager. I was making videos. We were doing our part. While this Pantera asshole was already lying right from the start. Not speaking up to try to help the game or to be honest with his community. Right? So that's why I said you lied and con your community, all to accomplish what? They'll never answer it. There'll still be those people that, oh, quit talking about it, or oh, you're immature, or oh, quit being mean, or oh, you're a hater. You're a hater. Like, what? Or I'm just telling the truth. If anybody would say I'm hating on this guy or wanting to be like this con man, then you clearly have your shit backwards, because who would want to be, unless you're some con man yourself or a con man in training. Same thing that happened with Dagger. Now Dagger's gone. Same thing that happened with this Zelonius guy. Had some shady shit about him. Now he's gone. But he wasn't like a con man, so to speak, but he just did some goofy stuff. He's gone. Like, these guys never last, and even if they do, at least now the truth's out there. So, oh look, here we go. Look, I called it, guys. What did I tell you? That's so funny that I just called it. Notice what I read there. That this comment, Pantera kept deleting. Notice that, like, if we're in trial right now, a judge would just read the facts. But notice how these two, this blue light guy was like the number 1. You guys have seen him in here all the time. You can almost hear him crying through the screen. He's softer than toilet paper. And then another one of those guys. Remember what I said earlier. These goofballs are the ones that would watch their favorite musician become a chomo and still support him. Like, oh, you're just jealous of him. You're just jealous. He's living rent-free in your head as they're supporting a chomo. Or their favorite athlete gets caught using steroids. Or whatever other bullshit that, and they have these followers that like these people so bad because they're losers that they support them through everything. So you're always going to get this. But notice what I said. I read through that whole statement, and I said, point out where I'm wrong. Like, all you have to do is go to those dates where I'm like, UFL exposed. Skin system is going under. Do not spend on skins. On that same day, Pantera's saying, guys, look at these new packs. They're great. Look at this. I'm going after this new Mbappe. I'm going after, there was this really good Mbappe out, right? And so, like, Pantera, on those same days, you can see where he's lying to his community. So a judge and jury would ask him, Pantera, what do you have to say for this? When OG's 8 months ago saying, guys, do not use the skins. The skins are going out. Everyone's at 91. They have nowhere to go. Do not waste your money. And Pantera's going, guys, keep buying players. Look, I'm going to buy this player. The skin system's great. And then it goes under. Why didn't Pantera tell everyone? Let's move on. But notice that nobody can answer this question. Let's read it. Look at this loser in here right now. Can't answer the question. So what these people do is they have such, like, think about how lame of a person you have to be to follow a con man and a liar. Think about how big of a loser you have to be that, like the John guy in his true story. OG can attest to this. Boomfa can attest to this. This Blue Lock guy and that, like, John guy, they're one and the same. This Blue Lock guy has always been, like, the first person in the stream, always saying questionable stuff. I think it's got to be a girl, which would make a little more sense. But I swear to God, girls would be embarrassed to have this Blue Lock as one of them. You guys know what I'm talking about. This is the guy that people were saying, is this Pantera's, like, alternate? Remember what he was saying? So notice how nobody can state the facts of the matter. When you call out these con men, these losers that have this community full of idiots, none of them can answer it. Like, you will be like, hey, let's just make up an example because we've seen this before. Like, Bill Cosby date raped a girl, Blue Lock. How can you say Bill Cosby is innocent and he's your favorite? He got caught putting a pill in drinks for girls. He got caught red-handed. You're just a hater. Bill Cosby's living rent-free in your head. That's what Blue Lock's saying. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you put an extreme on it, it makes these guys really stand out as morons. So when I'm stating this, let's think about it. Blue Lock, what he's doing here would be the same as, who else do you want to use? Let's use Aaron Hernandez. Blue Lock, you love Aaron Hernandez? Yes, he's my favorite. You're jealous of him. You're envious of Aaron Hernandez. He's living rent-free in your head. No, I'm just stating he is a cold-blooded killer and deserves the death chair. Let's just pretend he didn't already off himself. Blue Lock, based on what he's saying here, would respond, instead of saying, bro, we caught him red-handed murdering someone and pointing out all the facts. Blue Lock would go, I love Aaron Hernandez. Okay, well, what about the video of him shooting a guy in the head? What about the bullets in his rental car? He's living rent-free in your head. Why don't you just get your life together and move on? You're jealous of Aaron Hernandez. Hold on, Blue Lock. Can you answer the question? What do you have to say about the cold-blooded murder he committed? Aaron Hernandez is the best. He's living rent-free in your head. You have no respect for anyone. Just leave Aaron alone. Aaron is amazing. That's what Blue Lock's doing. So, once again, Blue Lock, go to every different date where I called out goals, including giving my community heads up on not buying skins because the skin system was going down, including letting them know when updates didn't work out well, when they didn't fix certain things, pointing them out, including talking about the behind-the-scenes stuff with strikers that was going on, all the different stuff that either A, you're going to say that this guy was too stupid to know, in which case, what is he lying and acting like he knows shit anyways? He should at least admit, guys, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what I'm talking about. Or B, for views and for subscribers, he decided to lie to his community. Didn't tell any of his followers that skins were going away. Didn't tell anybody. All of a sudden, the game's only broken when he has an alternate plan. Why did he do it with FC26? And within a couple of days, after saying UFL's terrible, FC's better, I'm going to FC, within a couple of days, he's back. UFL's amazing. And no changes were made. It's just he's not good enough to play FC. He couldn't compete. He doesn't have any following. Now, go back and look yourself at the dates. Go back and look yourself at the streams. Go back and put a check mark where I was being specific and helping my community, and then put a check mark where Pantera did it, just like a judge and jury would do, and you'll see he's a comment. Now, once again, here it is. This is exactly what a lame-ass loser would do. Let's take it to the extreme. You point out these facts. Blue Lock, just like whatever the other 6 people that defend him, like out of 1,000. Notice out of, let's talk about the view part. Out of whatever it is, 1,000 people, 6 people defend him, or 12, whatever it was. One of them is a guy named John W. This is a guy that I booted from my streams because he was coming in with 3 different accounts and talking to himself. He would come in my streams and create arguments with himself. My boy Boomfa caught him in the act because he accidentally left up something that connected 2 of the accounts. I wish Boomfa was in here to talk about it. So these losers like Blue Lock are true weirdos. So Blue Lock and this guy John are the 2 loudest people defending this comment. You got a guy that creates multiple accounts and talks to himself in streams. And then you got this Blue Lock guy that comes in and everyone's making fun of him because he's got some issue where he loves content creators unhealthily, if you know what I mean. I'll leave it at that. He's got an unhealthy obsession with content creators. Go back and watch previous streams from myself, from Pantera, from anybody in UFL. The dude is a weirdo. Now, that's fine. Those weirdos are going to exist. But my point is, no matter what you want to say about it, these delusional idiots, you could point them a video of somebody committing murder, of like this Pantera guy literally committing cold-blooded murder, and their answer is going to be, you're jealous. You're jealous. He's living rent-free in your head. What about the facts? Oh, you're jealous. I love Pantera. As you watch a video of him committing, like, you see what I'm saying? These guys are so delusional, it's not even funny. So once again, you don't need anybody. 12 idiots, the 7 people who like the video, go look what I said at the end. Go do the math. Go do the math, Blue Lock. I'm sure you can at least do that. So the point is, you don't even need that. All you need to do is look at the dates. It's the same reason why he was deleting this over and over and over, is because anybody with a brain goes and looks and sees that, dude, you didn't warn us about the skin system. Why'd you let us waste all of our money, bro? Why are you over there buying Supreme Team players like this game's going somewhere? Like, you're misleading everybody. And then saying, oh, the game's a dead end, broken, this and that, but only when it suits you, when all of a sudden magically you feel like you have a fallback plan with playing goals. Like you have something else to create on. Because you failed in FC and did the same thing. Now you're doing it with goals, but you let us lose tons of money in UFL. You let us play this game knowing all this shit was never going to get fixed. You kept saying, oh, I think this is where I have to go back and find the exact dates. But even when I'm talking about the game, pointing out facts, this dude was saying, oh, he's wrong. Like, he was saying I was wrong about this stuff, saying this same stuff. But yet, I'm speaking facts. So look, whenever they're wrong, they say the same thing. So now he's age bashing. He's saying, oh, you fit. Wait, man, I'm glad I'm not that old. But he says, I'm just saying, man, this ain't healthy and didn't even know you were 50. See, dude, they just make up lies, guys. Didn't know you were 50, and that makes it sad. You see how big of losers these people are? While this dude is in someone else's stream every single hour of every night. Guys, I kid you not. I will give you $1,000 if you can find one day in the past, God knows how many days, where this Blue Lock, I don't know who it is or where, but dude, you have this unhealthy obsession with people, bro. Like, when I was seeing you in my streams, I felt bad for you because people were picking on you and you wouldn't even know. But bro, you gotta read the signs. You gotta get a life, bro. You have to get a life. This dude is literally, listen to this last response, because I know when you watch this later, this dude is got to be an 8th grader. He just said, nobody in goals likes you. Bro, like he's acting like it's a friend. Like, newsflash, dipshit, we aren't in 2nd grade. We aren't going to each other's houses after school. This dude's saying, look how he's talking. That's the embarrassment of some of these weirdos. So parents, if these are kids, you gotta get your kids out here. They're out here embarrassing you. This weirdo spends hours and hours of his time every day obsessing over people. While I have facts on the screen, this loser just goes, this loser's in people's streams every night of the week, and he's going, Ronald from so-and-so says nobody likes you. Bro, think about how embarrassing it is that actually came out of someone's mouth. It's so hilarious. As if this dude's like wanting to get invited to someone's house one day. Like, hey bro, newsflash, we live all over the world. No one gives a shit who likes who. We get on football games and we play them. But the ramifications of a con man like this Pantera is that little kids like this Blue Lock, right? Because now he's giving himself away. And by the way, if your kid is Blue Lock FC 2101, please get him outside. Please. I mean, the amount of hours this kid spends just not wasting his life away is sad. He's not even making a penny off of this. He's not even making enough. He's not even making $1. He's in everyone else's streams talking about, no, hey, Johnny said that people don't like you. Johnny said that you're not invited to the new tournament later on because you said bad stuff about our friend. We're having a birthday party and you can't come. I mean, think about this, bro. It's even hilarious. It's like just the funniest thing. Bro, nobody gives a fuck about that. Marceau's one of the best players in the world. I could care less if Marceau told me tomorrow or today that, hey, like, screw you, never watch my streams again, you suck or something. I'm still gonna watch because the dude's sick at the game. You moron. Like, you don't get how it works. You don't get how it works. You sound like a literal 5th grader, bro. If you were good at football, like if you shared your gameplay right now, as pathetic as you are of a person, if you shared your gameplay right now and you were sick, like ridiculous at goals, like let's say you were Marky, which I know you're not because I've talked to Marky, like you gotta be some like really, really misled, I'm assuming like freshman in high school. That's like while your friends are out right now, you're on a Saturday night chilling because you can't make friends in real life, so you're hoping to like have a birthday party and invite fucking people from your streaming over or some shit. That's what you seem like, bro. Well, hey, I'm consistently right where I need to be, brother. So what don't you understand about that? As long as I'm doing what I'm doing and enjoying it, why in the fuck would I care what some random dude says on here? I mean, you literally are talking about random online names, right? Like this Pantera, for instance. As big of a con man as he is, he's making money off of losers like you. So the point is I point this stuff out so then other people with brains can look at what's on this screen right now, go see for themselves all these things, and then what will happen? Ding, ding, ding. They'll say, fuck this guy, dude. He is a piece of shit. I've seen it happen over and over and over. Example, Dagger. Where is Dagger? You have no idea because I don't think you were playing the game then, but Dagger did the same thing. He got called out. I think there was like 7 or 8 Blue Locks that supported Dagger back then. And then once they really looked at the facts, because the video stays up, the facts stay up, more and more that person falls off. And then they end up where Dagger's at. At the time, me and Dagger went at each other. Dagger, I was brand new. I think I had like 400 subscribers. Dagger had like 4,000 or whatever it was. Me and Nanik, when I called out Nanik still is more successful than me and Pantera times probably 3 or 4. He's got like 25K. Me and Nanik were cool, but then I called him out because I didn't like what he did. He had thousands of idiots like you coming in. And out of the thousands, probably like half of them were like immature little like blue locks. Like 15-year-old just losers, right? I hope this dude's 15. I'm just like, I'm in my head, I'm making it up because it's sad thinking that this is an adult in here. Like, Johnny doesn't like you. Johnny doesn't like you. Johnny said that you're kissing up to Roger because you did blah, blah, like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? We're all online from all over the world. This dude's acting like, he's trying to get people not invited to a birthday party coming up or some shit. Next thing he's going to tell me is, you can't sit at our lunch table anymore. You can't sit at the lunch table. So, look at this. I mean, I wish I could read this shit to you. It is hilarious, bro. I'm not even kidding. It literally says, Ronald says that they don't like you. People don't like you. Like, think about going online. And I got this dude on full tilt as he's giving me engagement on my channel. And he doesn't even realize this sucker. Like, when I teach people, see, I'm even helping this loser out when I should just let him keep going. But hopefully he does. So, there's the facts on the screen. You've had enough time to read all of it. But, let's look up Dagger and see, did he ever come back? So, let's go read the comments when I call out Dagger. Oh, here's the videos on Dagger. Look at this. So I laid out the examples. This was way early on. So check this out. Laid out the examples. Look at my covers even. Put the snake oil salesman up. Players like look at all the words on the thumbnail. Players like Dagger Sports love being toxic, as his video suggests, but this toxicity costs us. Okay, so now watch this. Let's read the comments and look how many losers like Blue Lock were in here. Let's read this. So check this out, guys. So here's me calling out Dagger. Right? Remember how I said there's the conmen creators that are pieces of trash, the rat creators that are the pieces of trash, and then there's the clickbaiters that are pieces of trash that never really have anything, but they'll put in the title like, oh my god, someone dies at the end of this football game video, just to get the clicks, right? So Dagger was a rat content creator, and Pantera is a con man content creator. Again, months and months and months, and this dude could never even get close to the level my guys got to. Me, Kevin, Boomfa, Phil, all of us. And it's just funny. That's like a funny little side dig at him, because how can you play all these months, bro, and you're still just nothing, right? But when it comes to, but I'm fine with that, obviously. It's fine if you just like playing. But when you're lying to a bunch of people, right, and you're misleading people, I'm going to call you out. So I did this to Dagger. Now let's look. Dagger ended up getting chased away, all right? Dagger ended up getting chased away from the game. So let's look at one. Okay, so on Dagger. So that's one. So let's look how many of these I do. Dagger is gone from the game. Now, how much my shit ended up hurting him, who knows, right? Who knows? But at the end of the day, video coming, Dagger continues to be an example of why UFL is dying. At the end of the day, the dude is gone. The dude saying, I want you to show me who agrees with you. What are you talking about, bro? Are you in a conversation with yourself? I don't give a shit about engagement, bro. I've had way worse. I've had streams where literally the views when I get done are like, dude, I could care less. Go look at how many videos I make each day. You clearly don't know who I am, bro. And it's funny as shit seeing how much I got under your skin, dude. I love it. But you got to get help, though, for real, Blue Light. It's not healthy. You got to put this time and effort into something that can make you money, or something that you can, like, get better at. Like, you understand that, right? Like, you're wasting away your life. I can't even count how many hours. Do you know how many times we've been checking out other streams and stuff, too? And you're just randomly in everyone's stuff, bro. It's like, do something for yourself. There's a lot of you guys. And it's just like, it's not healthy. Like, dude, the people from my community notice we all got our own stuff going on, and then we catch up, and then we play football. Like, that's what this is. It's about, but you weirdos are just like, I gotta watch this stream. Like, the stuff that you guys do is insane. You're always in every single stream, like every hour of every day. And you don't catch people like talking about it. You don't see that. Like, do something for yourself. Go for a run. Play the game yourself. Start a channel yourself. Like, you gotta quit, bro. And you know, if you kept track of the hours that you just sit in these streams being a goofball, it's just not good, man. So look, so I did this same thing with Dagger. Same exact thing. Right? Look. Other people calling him out too. And this same thing will happen. Right? Even in the comment section with Simple Go, which I love seeing it. And some people will say Simple was in this and Simple was in this. But he's exactly correct. Like, I don't care about anything with him. I'm just going to speak on this. Like, the fact that that Pantera kept buying players. The dude has a full team of Supreme Team players. It shows you, like, the team that you have when you stop playing UFL shows how far into it you got before you bought in. And it makes a great point. When you have a team full of Supreme Team players and you're a content creator, you are definitely a scammer. Notice that he's the only one, English speaking, the only one. Ding, ding, ding. Red flag. Red flag. Why do you think no one else will touch it? Why do you think when Boris Legend did the one series, he had to make up a team? Oh, what is this? Who's this? Ultimate Football Eye. This is Nanik. Way bigger than any of us combined. When I went at it with him, by the way, Blue Lock, you must not know, bro. Like, you should see, this is where you want to go if you want to get some friends. Because when I called out Nanik, I had about 50 to 100 losers like you in here, man. So you could at least gain 50 to 100 friends. And who knows, man, you guys might live close enough together where you can actually, because that's what it seems like you're looking for. It's weird, bro. Like, it seems like you fantasize at lunch, like, to actually have friends sit with you or something. The way you talk, it's crazy. But so look at this, Ultimate Football Lie, pointing out all this broken shit. No, that was 2 months ago. No doubt, when you watch this, I strongly suggest, because Nanik, the one thing I'll say, he was tied in, like, real close with you. He did, like, a little scripted thing with Eugene, and it got him in hot water because it was scripted. Eugene, at the time, we wanted him to answer a ton of questions because they were ruining UFL, and he was basically let off the hook. So Danik got a lot of shit for that, but along the way, they clearly screwed him somehow. Because if you look at his content and where it was at, and then watch this video, and think about the fact that Pantera knew all this. So Pantera's
last message I put.
Pantera's making content, right? Real small at the beginning, but he was lying to his community from the start. So I want you to watch this, right? I want you to watch this and remember that this Pantera, this is what I'm talking about. All along, this is where whether I win at Nanik or not, way back, which, by the way, when you go at someone with 1,000 subs, I think at the time I went at him, I probably had like 800. I wasn't even at 1,000. So now I'm at 1,700, right? This dude's got like 30,000 or 25. Let's read it. But I still wasn't going to let him off the hook. And when I went at him, having his subs, he's at 30,000 now. He was at like 25 when I first went at him. Which, congratulations, Nanik, for getting to 30. Bro, he had about 1,000 of his followers. Right? Which is subscribers, which isn't a lot compared to 30K, but still. It was really probably closer to like 75, but still. There's always those ones like Blue Lock, right? But it's so funny that Pantera's only got one of these weirdos. And really the weirdo, this Blue Lock, if you guys remember, was my #1 fan for a long time. Go back and watch my last 30 streams and look who posts the most and was in my stream. I want you to really like Pantera. Please like Pantera. If you really like Pantera, you guys could be friends and we would be great. Great job, OG. Now just be friends with Pantera. I really like you. Please be friends with him. You guys would be awesome. Can I get a picture of you, dude? I really want to see your face. Can I please? I seen Pantera sent me some pictures. Can you send me some pictures? Like, the dude's a weirdo. The dude is a weirdo. Like, I don't know what him and Pantera got going on, but this dude is weird. Go look at my past 20 screams. I shit you not. You'll see blue lock, blue lock, blue lock. But I'm not doing this weirdo shit that Pantera and him got going on, so I'm sorry, bro. And then, like, it makes you wonder what these streamers do for, like, an extra viewer in their stream. Or what, what did Pantera do with Blue Lock to get, like, because go look at my streams and look what Blue Lock was asking me all these days in a row. It's like, you gotta wonder about these people, bro. So now he's talking about me and Ronald. We're talking, like, how in the fuck? What private thing were you guys in? What weirdo stuff? Sending pictures, doing all this stuff. I mean, come on, bro. Just leave it at the online IDs, dog. Like, you gotta get help. Somebody call this dude's parents. I don't care what age. Apparently he's younger because he's dogging on 30, 40, 50-year-olds. But these dudes are crazy. Talking about, please send me pictures like Pantera. Like, what pictures? Me and Ronald, we're in a private thing. We're talking about you and goals. Like, what are you doing, bro? Well, nobody likes you, but I want to see your face. Like, that's the type of shit I got to deal with on here, guys. They really should have, like, a helpline where YouTube could say, if these people are deemed mentally ill, they could, like, call the families or something. Because I don't know what these weirdos got going on. We might have to say, call it Pantera Epstein and Blue Lock. What was the girl's name? Pantera Epstein and Blue Lock, whatever the girl's name was. Whatever his accomplice's name was. That's what they're acting like. Ronald told me and Ronald were... So this dude, Ronald, plays goals, and apparently him and Blue Lock got some weird shit going. I don't know. I didn't read all of it, but these weirdos, dude. Ronald's in my Discord. I'll have to ask him. I'm going to ask him right now. Let's tag him and say, what kind of weird shit do you got going on with this Blue Lock? Hold on. I'll let you guys watch this. Hold on 1 second. Now remember, Pantera Epstein, right? Before he ever even met Blue Lock and had their weird stuff going on with one of his subs, this is what he knew and failed to share. That's all I'm saying. He had all this information at his disposal and was just lying to his community the whole time. That's all I'm saying. It's facts. It's the truth. Whether I'm a dick for exposing him or not, whether I'm a dick for pointing out the facts that he still lies about, it's just the truth. So listen through to this and remember.
In the Discord, in my own private Discord, before people screenshot it and put it in the UFL one, which got me kicked out of the server and removed. So you're probably wondering, why have I gone back to UFL 1 year later? Well, let's see if the game has improved. Is it where they said they promised it to be? And have they also covered in all the things that they kept saying was coming out but never got released, which you could argue is false advertising? Let's get into the world and wonders of it. I've got myself at least a couple more minutes to go, so I'll catch you when we're in the game. Now, I had so much expectation and hope and belief in this game. I worked so hard behind the scenes, talking to developers.
He did work hard, too.
Talking to the team, talking to the CEO, Eugene himself. Before, long story short, I got through under the bus and God knows what. So it's been a long time since doing this. We haven't been on this game for about 7 to 8 months. So I'm very interested to see where we go. Now, immediately, all boosters are turned into LP. Reserve slots are turned into LP, interesting. And club accumulated RP and remaining XP are turned into credit points. What? So we don't level players up anymore. Refund compensation. 60 million, 679 LP, and then premium LP packs. Where LP is in packs. Okay, first thing you see is an offer to buy things in packs. Interesting. The next tab is that. And the next tab. So far, making money.
So, remember, Pantera Epstein knew all of this stuff. But go back and look. This was 2 months ago. Go back and look 2 months ago. 3, 4, 5, 6. All the scandals, all the bullshit that was going on with UFL. And the dude sitting there playing the game. This game's amazing. This game's great. And then the random, of course, you can't just say it's perfect, right? But go look for yourself. That's all I'm telling you to do. These things were well notified. I forgot Nanik even made this. So it's sad when people were lying so bad. And he's not the only one. Richie did it too. That boss man KD did it too. But those guys I don't have on stream all throughout this, showing evidence like Pantera was there the whole time. It's not like he was ignorant to all this. He just wanted to build his channel up. So he just lied and lied and lied. It's just the truth. But don't believe me. Look and listen to all the stuff that was out this whole time. Listen to what Nanik's talking about. Then check how long Pantera was playing. And then recognize what he did share and what he didn't. It would be like if I knew that Goals behind the scenes was struggling and they couldn't figure out how to fix lob through balls. And lob through balls, according to Marceau and these guys when we're watching the streams, are saying like they're dog shit or whatever, okay? So let's just say they're broken and they keep ruining every game. And players are in the game saying, guys, if lob through balls are fixed, the game's great. If lob through balls are fixed, but without it, the game sucks. But they'll fix it, But let's say I knew, based on what was shared and what was going on, that the game was screwed. They can't figure out how to remove the lob through balls. They just are going to kind of mislead people, try to point them to new packs and other stuff like Strikers did. If I was a piece of crap and just kept playing the game like, hopefully they get rid of lob through balls next patch, guys, and then that patch they don't, dang, they didn't get rid of them, but next patch I heard they're going to get rid of them. But the whole time I knew they weren't. The whole time I knew that this game was doomed. And I'm telling you what I'm telling you about Goals. I would be the same as Pantera. That's what I'm trying to say. That is a fact. If I knew that, and I didn't say, guys, like, I love this game, but we're screwed. They can't get rid of this because of X, Y, and Z. Because I would want to know that if I was somebody else that was playing this game, wasting my time, if that's what it was. And notice that of all these comments, there's not one answer to that. Why wasn't that stuff shared? It's, well, me and Ronald were on, whatever the fuck they were doing. I forgot what he said. Him and Ronald were doing something together, which is weird in itself. And somehow they got to talking about, like, well, Ronald says he doesn't like you. Like, I give a shit. There could be 10,000 Ronalds and Marceaus and this and that. I could care less, bro. And then I'm sitting here sharing facts, right? And the next thing he says, you're 60, you're 50, you're like, which age is it? You suck. So, like, these are the weirdos you got to deal with. But the facts are still the facts. I'm still laying them out there. I mean, it's just funny as I'm typing this stuff out. If I was this Blue Lack and I wanted to be taken seriously, I would show me where I'm wrong. Just tell me where what I'm saying is wrong. You can be mad at me for pressing the fact. Notice the word fact there, pressing the issue, if you will. But then tell me where I'm saying something that's not a fact. Oh, you can't? Okay. So then your answer is, well, Timmy doesn't like you. Right? It's just goofy, bro. These are goofies here. They can't come back with any argument to what I'm saying. And they're so mad, I guess, because they want someone to follow. I don't know. You guys make it make sense. It's just facts are facts. But let's watch this and see all the nonsense that was known to everyone. I mean, this is Nanik who left the game, came back after a year, and still had all this to share. And yet, you didn't see any of this from these UFL fair weather bullshitters that just using exploits and acting like it's skill, lying to their community, watching them spend hundreds of dollars knowing that the game is fucked.
Money came to them. I get
It's a
it. Still,
joke.
they are an independent company, so they are going to try and make it. Now, big gripe of mine was beforehand underneath my camera was not having anything on the menus to have you tell your objectives. Now, they kind of took that idea, and if I move myself out of the way here, you'll see that it's all about buying the team pass or looking at X offer, and there isn't anything that tells you about objectives or communities. Now, there might be community events challenges still out, I don't know. Use to cover them on the channel, but it isn't what it is. Now, let's go have a look at challenges to see if they have reinvented the wheel this time round. Now, we have got competitive and casual, which is always a thing. Score with indicated number of goals. Okay, win with the indicated... No, but they were only there for a limited time, I suppose. At least they added in the colour codes, guys. I've made no stress about that for absolute yonkies. Now, you can see I actually had the Cristiano Ronaldo from the original season pass. And
That car was
yeah,
broken.
It's where it is. I mean, I'm interested to get into the game in a minute. Another thing I've only just noticed is there's Kem. What are these lines? Kem style? Again, nothing on screen to basically explain to you how things work. I mean, never change. UFL. All of these originals. Oh, this is confusing then. I mean, we'll leave it as that for now. I don't think it really matters too much. Swap them out. Obviously, we're in, I think that's bronze 3. I don't even know.
And I did a video
What is it?
breaking this whole thing down. I agreed with most of what Nanik said, but I did disagree with a few things that he said. But the bottom line is, it was always out there. It was always out there. So it is what it is. But it's freaking hilarious. It's hilarious. Like, you know what matters to me more than anything? And this is what I'll tell you. This message right here, this message I'm about to show you, well, I showed it in my video. You guys can watch the video if you guys want to see. But the messages that I've received from the goals devs, that matters more than anything, because I know that I'm doing well with promoting a game that deserves it. Now, let's just make this up. Let's say the goals game is still amazing. I'm still promoting it. But let's just say the goals devs say, man, you're too mean to these guys. You know, stop doing this, or we don't like you, or your videos suck or something. Wouldn't give a shit. Would still promote the game the same way because it's still amazing, right? It's awesome that they recognize and they see, because I'm not some big creator or something, right? I create videos almost on the daily on topics that I know aren't some catchy clickbait type of shit, right? And so it's just about finding a good football game. That's what the majority of us are looking at. That's the whole point. And then once you do, you hope to find someone, if you're someone that follows content like I always have, like I said, since the, let's call it KSI era, you don't want to follow some bullshitter or some liar. So if I see it, I call it out, right? That's just the bottom line. Now, Dipshit was asking me about like the support or something like that. If I'm a content creator that gets whatever views I get on each of these videos, 100 here, 500 here, whatever it is, like if I go into that video that I shared, go into my channel, let's see here, and on each day, right, I'm getting X amount of views, whatever it is, like 71 on my tournaments, 240 here, 400 here. I mean, look at this. Look how much. They're always consistent. If I gave a shit, I would have quit way back. Let's look at these videos. 244, look at this. 694, 260, 247. Go all the way back. I mean, when that Blue Lock became my #1 fan until I didn't share photos with him and Pantera Epstein and him had going on. This is when that dude became my fan way back here, bro. Had the same, arguably even less, especially in the UFC or the FC era. But look at the views all the way down here. They're always around the same, bro. Never once did I give a shit. Like randomly, like 953 on that FC video. Like I don't even look at this shit. I couldn't even tell you. They're always around 4.6. So I got 5K on this video. Right? Oh, which I did. That was a sick little trick to finish that moments shit from FC 26 earlier on. Wait, was that FC 26? It was. Holy shit. Time's flying. I thought that was FC 25. But that was where you can make your opponent or turn it on to 2 players for moments and you just zoom past them. That was like the initial release. 5K, I'll take it. Nice. But look at this. I didn't even know I got that. That could have said 4 viewers or 4K. I wouldn't have known the difference. So the point is, I'm not doing it for that. I don't care. I just want a great football game. I literally started this planning to help out like 5, 10, 20 people from UFL that might come across my channel. I didn't even know how the fuck they'd ever even come across it. Right? But look, when you talk about that weirdo that I told you, that John guy, he used to come in my streams. He created 3 different accounts and he would talk to himself. Agreeing with himself, right? Or arguing with himself. It was the weirdest shit you've ever seen until he got caught. And he's like, oh, his views. Dude, look at my views have always been the same, bro. They've always been the exact same. My views, if anything, have rose. Look at 99, 100, 100, 200, 85, and then the random bigger ones. So all this time, when you can go back and look at the streams of these guys, Blue Lock and then John W. Go back and look at my UFL. These guys are fans, right? Well, my views have always been where they are. Like a random 1K here. So where did they fall off exactly? If anything, they got better. You're talking about I've went from 500 subs, and I was okay with 5, to 1,700. You're talking I've always had the same views, if anything less, right? And so where did the views fall off? I've never had views. This has always been where it's at. So you see what I'm saying? You see the delusion that these people have, right? I might not be the most eloquent at explaining this, but I know football. I've helped a lot of people. Dude, there's someone that commented today. Where is it? I got to find it. He's using my tactics. Which tactics video was it? Let's look. Content. View your channel. This is literally what it's all about right here. So if I go to YouTube Studio, and then comments, where is it at? I think it's community. All right, let's find this. Look it right here. My 41212 wide, which I did love. I use it the whole time in UFL, all the way to when I left the game pretty much. After I liked the 5-back at first with the attacking wing backs. Then I went to this. This was like the second. I only ever really liked 2 setups. And look at this. This video was put out. How long ago was this put out? If I go to it. Three months ago. Okay, so game plan and team setup. And I did it. That was like a redo of another one. So even when I wasn't playing the game, I put this out. Like I just came back to play. And look at this. This is what it's all about. If this was like my only subscribers and I had this much, right? That's a FC comment. Look at this. Kira, 3 months ago, still using this one. Look, so he talks about 3 months ago using a setup from 5 months ago. So I just did a redo on the 41212. And it's helping people, right? Look at their comments. Absolutely fantastic. Dank Meister, this dude's a German. I think that's... Thanks, mate. I've already implemented and tried it out. Played 4 or 5 ago, or deleted the game. Have not lost. Damn, this dude deleted fucking... This dude deleted UFL 5 months ago. People should have listened to him. I've not lost since I was doing this whole setup. After the update, it's destroyed. You cancel. He hates the update, which he's probably right. What's your favorite game? Just got Nunez. Who made the original video? Good video. That was me. Do you have tactics? And I redid my own video. So this is what I do this for. He doesn't like this formation. I've already uninstalled. This dude quit too. Playing the game makes me feel... Yeah, dude, it's crazy because you get to see where they need 5 years to make a good game. You can't even defend. It's crazy that, like, while I'm showing where I like it, it's crazy that even all this time ago, people were seeing how broken UFL was. And yet you had creators like Pantera that were just lying through their teeth this whole time. It's just insane. But anyway, that's not my point. My point was all the comments are just hilarious. Whether it's some hater like the John guy, his views fell off when you see, if anything, they've gotten higher. And subscribers just keeps going up to a rate that I'm already way past being happy with. This Blue Lock guy wanting me to fucking do weird shit that him and Pantera do. Like, all these weirdos come in. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm just trying to play a football game and help people out who need help, and also just talk some football and compete, right? So that's what we're going to keep doing in this channel. Hopefully, if anything, this will keep chasing these weirdos away. Roblox community. Roblox, what's up? So now we just have to decide, do I want to play some eFootball or do I want to go play some tennis? Because Nick Run the Foot Market has been making tennis look mighty good. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, I got to get that thought out of my head of this dude wanting to look at my pictures. I never thought I'd be told some weird shit. I don't know what. I don't even... Where are these original comments at? Anyway, thank God you guys don't have to fucking just... Those go away when you watch these later, so don't scroll up. It'll give you nightmares. Let's see what we get out of some eFootball. But at least Topspin doesn't have Smart Assist. I don't know. Maybe the game freezing up is a sign. Let's check it out. But I am playing if I do play, I'll restart a stream with eFootball because this is listed under goals, and we'll go from there. But maybe I'll play. I don't know. We'll see if I decide Monday to play. But that's what sucks. Every time you play a game, there's like 7 people online. We'll see, man. I'm going to get some thoughts from some people. I wouldn't mind starting a little top spin career and just hammering that out for, what, a week, 2 weeks. I got that $25 gift card from Freestyle Football 2 that I won, so I could eventually get top spin for free. Have a nice little run, see where we can get. That game looks sick. Or play eFootball, but you know you're just going to run into Smart Assist. So if you have any thoughts on what you'd like to see there, leave it in the comments section. As far as all this other goofy shit, I don't know if I clearly explained it, but if I didn't, yeah, just watch who you follow, especially with all these weirdos out there. I mean, you definitely don't want to be in a community with all these Epstein lovers, let's call them. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.